So let thoughts come as they may. Beauty and parade. Everybody all smiles when you're back in the seat again. On aboard the Petty Express to a beautiful darkness. It's full steam ahead to ride the rails to our next destination. Yeah!
Hey you guys, it's Mo and we are ready for the Petty Express. Toot toot, here we go. Your conductress is back with a adult beverage liberally diluted with sparkling water, but a beverage nonetheless. So we are back. Gail Kite is the foster mother that watched Megan from about the time she was 7 months pregnant to when the baby was maybe 2 or 3, 4 months old. So she was just telling, you know, how she offered to watch Evelyn, how she tried to keep track of, you know, Megan and reach out and, you know, assist her in any way she could. She seems like a wonderful foster mother. Of course, Grandma is looking awesome. I need to know how she keeps her hair all, you know, beautiful all day. Whatever hairspray she uses works fantastic. And after Gail, the foster mother, we will be talking to a babysitter that used to, or next up will be a babysitter that used to watch Evelyn for Megan.
Nothing from the state? From the state, yes.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Kite, thank you for your testimony today. You released from this opinion amendment.
Now we are going at 1.5, so they're not as jerky motioned in real life. You know, that'll, you know, donations for wigs will always be accepted. Again, only use your Starbucks money, not your ramen noodle money. But more wigs are coming. Everything I own, though, is in boxes. All my wigs are in little satin bags and packed away, and I am somewhat nervous on how they're going to end up. And by somewhat, I mean all the way.
Okay, very next.
Today we'll call, excuse me, Sue Whitson.
We have formal flannel, which is always good.
Raise your right hand and state your name for me.
Sue Whitson.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the
Yes, I do.
truth? I need you to speak up.
Oh, well, we have another grandma on our hands. We got the, you know, platinum to silver kind of ombre look, which is fabulous. We've got our sunglasses on our head because we are going places after this, and our beautiful ornate little choker. Go on with your bad self, grandma number 2. Oh, for the love of Jesus, why did these people take so daggone long to get prepped? It's like you didn't have the folder or 3 lawyers just sitting there with twiddling their thumbs.
Good morning. Okay. Your name is Sue Whitson?
Yes.
Is your last name spelled W-H-I-T-S-O-N?
Yes.
Okay. Where do you live, Sue?
In Elizabeth.
Okay. And do you know Gail Kite?
Yes, I do.
Who is Gail Kite to you?
She's my sister.
Okay. And to your knowledge, has your sister taken in foster children through the years?
Yes.
Okay. And was Megan Boswell one of the foster children that came and lived with your sister for a while?
Yes.
And were you aware that Megan Boswell had given birth to a child named Evelyn?
Yes.
Okay. And were you aware that at some point Megan and Evelyn moved out of Gail's house and got their own place?
Yes.
Okay. And were you contacted by Megan to babysit Evelyn?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Do you remember how you were contacted by her?
Text message.
Okay. And did you actually babysit Evelyn
Yes,
for her?
yes, I did.
Do you remember how many times?
I think maybe 3 or 4.
Okay. When you babysat, was it in your home or Megan's home?
Thank you
home.
so
Okay.
much, Slinky.
So she would bring
and
Evelyn to you
I
and
have
Elizabeth
found
in?
a couple
Yes.
tickets, so you are going in the ticket. Thank you so much.
recall when you
Again,
babysat?
all super chats.
I think maybe last
are absolutely appreciated and go towards funding this channel. So thank you so much. And by funding this channel, I do mean I'm actually trying to be an adult and get like stuff that works. I have new lights. I have new setup ideas with with my old camera and new things. So all of this is going into my new area, which is going to be fantasticorical, I think. I hope. So, on the construction front, our van has exploded. I don't know, we had to get it towed. And Mr. Moe, I guess all of the, look, I'm not a constructionologist, but all of the walls that hold things up go this way in our house, except for one that was supposed to be in our new closet. So, now he has to put in a header. I don't understand. I'm glad he has friends that can help because I'm over here looking at him like a dog trying to understand algebra. And I'm like, you know, this would be a lot more interesting if you were wearing a tool belt and didn't have a shirt on. I might could pay attention, but what exactly is a header? And I'm guessing it's not a fun thing. So, yeah, I was kicked out of the room again because apparently sarcasm is not helpful. I don't know why. I thought it was extremely helpful for my nerves. Doggone it.
Week of November or the first week of December.
Okay.
I told him he should just start smoldering and then I'll tell him yes to any tool he needs, but that's
We'll pass the
probably after I
document.
nearly kill myself.
So if you can identify it.
laughing. Oh,
That's
for
Evelyn.
heaven's sake.
That's
this
Evelyn.
chair.
Is that a photograph that you took?
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
When did you take that photograph?
I'm saying maybe about the second day I kept her.
Okay. All right. Is there that a fair and accurate representation of what the photograph looked on the day you took it?
Yes.
Okay. We request that be made exhibit number 89.
No objection. Full exhibit 89.
And permission to publish, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. You know, it's okay as long as they don't show pictures. And then I see my little baby girls with, you know, like the 5 hairs, and you're so excited when you get a baby girl. You're like, I'm going to do her hair, all the little cute, you know, Insta whatevers. And then they come out with like one single hair and they don't want you touching their head, and those headbands just, they hate them. But this is where the real heartbreak kind of comes home when you see these pictures of this beautiful, wide-eyed, blue-eyed, blonde little baby girl with the little pebbles, you know, ponytail in her hair. It's a picture of innocence and hope and, you know, promise of future that just won't ever fade, but the promise is lost and broken, and it's just so heartbreaking. Which is why I stay in snark mode most of the time, because, like I said, sad, I don't like to live in sad, but I can live in smite and mad. Like, smite and mad is my happy part, you know, zone. So I like to live there. I like to live in snark and not sad, so let's continue. But what a beautiful angel that was lost too soon.
Well, I made it worse. I'm sorry.
You do it, but
Yeah.
Welcome, Nicholas Starro
Is this
and
the photograph you were
Viking
talking about?
Raiders.
Yes.
Okay, so that photograph would have been.
Fair warning to all incoming Raiders, we are covering the Tennessee versus Megan Boswell case. It does involve a child. It is not a good case as far as happy feelings. And, you know, only you can Smokey the Bear. Only you can, you know, protect your mental health. So it is completely okay to say, nope, sorry, I have to skip this trial. It's about a child and it's incredibly sad. I do try to keep the snark up, but again, it is a kiddo case. So you are the only one that can protect your mental health. No click, no subscription is worth you having, you know, a terrible day. So, a short kind of pitch about this case, Tennessee versus Megan Boswell. On February the 6th, sorry, I've got all of my notes just every which way, higgledy-piggledy. Higgledy-piggledy. So on March 6th, a Friday, 18 days after Evelyn Boswell had officially been, listed as missing, reported as missing, baby Evelyn was found on Megan Boswell's father's, her grandfather's, Evelyn's grandfather's property, placed in a trash can in basically squalor in an old playhouse that was only Megan's. Now, in a startling twist, Megan had not reported her little girl missing, and the last time anyone had seen her was on December 6th of 2019. She was reported missing until her grandfather called it in on... No, you'll have to excuse me, my brain is not working. He called it in very late, so about 3 months later, he calls it in because Megan has been telling a bunch of different stories about where this child is. First, the child is with the father. We'll get to that. Put a pin in that. While he's doing basic training and advanced individual training, so somehow he has taken this 13-month-old baby with him to basic training. Now, even as a basic training flunky in a, family full of service members, I can tell you that is not going to happen. He's not going to put the baby in the footlocker and keep her in his rucksack as he's, walking around. So after they, completely tore this young man's life apart, Ethan's life apart, his senior command comes in, looks for the baby, looks through the barracks, makes sure, he hasn't hidden her with anyone around Louisiana. They come back to Megan, and Megan has another story. Well, you know what? My mom took her because, she just did. And then she went full Skelton Brothers and said, well, my mom took her and she gave her to someone who was going to give her a better life. Now, the TBI, the kind of Texas Bureau of Investigation, the sheriffs, and everyone else was just about tired of Megan's BS. Megan put out 2 interviews on live TV. I do have them in my playlist. She comes off as about as Susan Smith or Diane Downs as one can. Now, again, keep a pin in that. So finally, they get a tip from Tommy Boswell, who is Megan Boswell's father, and he and his soon-to-be ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, we don't even know, remember that Megan and she tend to switch iPhones all the time. Now, this is 17 days in to the official search. There has been an Amber Alert. There have been searches everywhere, anywhere that Megan has told the TBI to go. And finally, as they're getting ready to wind down this search, maybe pull back on the task force, they get a call from Tommy Boswell about that phone. Now, while Tommy's thinking about that phone, he remembers that, well, he didn't see Megan, but he saw her car kind of backed up and full Chandler Halderson mode, like she was dumping some crap in an outbuilding. So he directs the officers over there, and then about 4 yards or so away, cat corner, is a little playhouse that Megan's grandfather had built her when she was a child. Baby Evelyn was found face down, basically smothered, covered in a blanket. Her face was covered with foil, and she was placed upside down with such force that her head was tilted back. Now, trigger warning, this does get a bit dark. Now, according to the state, they claimed in their opening statements that they will be able to prove through medical forensics that, unfortunately, and as horrifying as this is to think about, that poor baby Evelyn was alive when she was placed in the trash can upside down. So her death was a combination of both smothering, but mechanical or positional asphyxia, because she was upside down and couldn't get her airway open. Now, the defense has a different take on the entire story, as you would expect. The defense claims that Evelyn's death was an unfortunate accident. Megan had a new boyfriend. They were not practicing safe sleeping habits. Evelyn was in the bed with them, and one of two things happened. Either baby Evelyn was smothered, or, it was unfortunately a SIDS death. Now, I can tell you as a parent, and I'm not a doctorologist, but 13 months is kind of at the high end of age for a baby to, pass away from SIDS. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Again, I'm not a doctorologist. Take this with a ramen noodle packet of salt. But basically, with this trauma, with this dramatic death, Megan was completely traumatized and made the terrible choice to, have her boyfriend take Evelyn and put her wherever. Now, that would fly, except that Megan didn't really play the part of a grieving mother. She played the part of I have found me a rich man, full Susan Smith. She glommed on to Chicken Shack Man, the new man that owned the Chicken Shack. He had a house in a subdivision with a basement. She was going to claw in. She allegedly was with child or impregnated, were her words, from this Ethan, or not from Ethan, from Preston Hunter, but I call him Chicken Shack Guy because they use his names Preston and Hunter interchangeably, so I just call him Chicken Shack Man. Now, having slept her way to the top of Chicken Shack Mountain, and y'all, it just gets more hill chuck from here. Like the hill chuck level is up to Deliverance in this. She confesses to the fact that it was either a SIDS or a, smother death. And the defense is working hard. As MLS law says, you always want to have a monster. The defense is working really hard to portray Megan as a young woman who was in foster care, gave birth to a child, was from a chaotic, background, didn't have the faculties, the emotional maturity, or anything to deal with the trauma of the death of a child suddenly. Again, that would work if she, in the intervening time where no one could find Evelyn in those, 12 weeks, if she had not gone to Gatlinburg, gone to the aquarium, done all of these really cute, like new couple, no kids thing. Instead of grieving, it didn't ever seem like she was grieving. And if you watch those interviews she gave, it does give Diane Downs, Susan Smith vibes to the nth degree. Where we are currently is still the state's case in chief. The witness is Sue Whitson. She babysat baby Evelyn for a little bit as Megan was starting to, I guess, get her claws into Chicken Shack Guy. Yeah, that's, like I said, this is Hill Chuck banjos and all the funds.
Taken.
And we are
You
at
said you babysitter last
1.25.
November to early December.
Yes.
So this would have been taken around that time.
Yes.
Okay. And does Evelyn, do you appear healthy here?
Pardon?
Was she healthy?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And was she walking?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember the last day that you babysat Evelyn?
Pretty much.
Okay. Do you remember what time Megan picked Evelyn up that day?
It was late that night, say maybe 10:30.
Okay. And you may not recall, but do you recall the date?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Did Megan indicate that she needed you to babysit again after that day?
No, she said that she wouldn't need me no more.
Okay. And did she tell you that when she picked Evelyn up, or did she tell you that later?
She told me later.
Okay. So when she picked her up, did you think you were going to be babysitting again?
Yes.
Okay. When did you learn you wouldn't be?
Maybe a couple days later, she got to where she wasn't bringing her.
She just wasn't bringing her?
No.
Okay.
She indicated prior that she knew she wasn't going to need a babysitter. A little bit of background. Megan was going in at 4:30 a.m. and staying till well past closing just to be around Chicken Shack Guy. Now, she would claim that her daughter was, with Sue or with Ethan's grandmother, with Ethan, the baby daddy who's in basic training. You know, again, getting vibes of Casey Anthony and Zanny the nanny. And welcome Frenchie's mom and all of Viking Raiders and everyone watching. Thank you for boarding the Petty Express. I'm
During
your
the days that you
conductress,
watched Evelyn,
Mo.
did you have any concerns?
Yes.
Okay. What concerns did you have?
She had a terrible diaper rash.
Okay. When you say terrible, can you describe it, please?
It was just really like sore looking, had marks through it, maybe scratches. It's just really bad looking.
Okay. Have you kept other children Evelyn's age before?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So you feel like you've got pretty good experience
Yes.
with babies and toddlers?
Yes.
Okay. Did that seem more than the average diaper rash?
Yes.
And how?
It was just, I'd never seen a diaper rash look that bad.
Okay. Did you tell anyone about this?
Diaper rash tends to come from the skin deteriorating because of moisture. Look, I have 6 kids, you guys. Desitin, Boudreaux's butt paste. The texture is gross, but it does create a moisture barrier between your baby's skin and the diaper. And that really does help with diaper rash. And I know it's messy, but, you know, put down an old towel, old blanket, and let them just air it out for a little bit. Again, I know it is quite literally a crapshoot, but it does give them a chance to get some air down there and, you know, work on not having diaper rash. There you go. That's my only mom advice. Look, momming is hard. Everyone is human. So if something else works for you, do that. For the love of goodness, don't take my advice like it's the rule of law.
Yes, I called Casey Kite.
Okay.
Or Casey Schultz.
Okay. And you won't be able to tell us what Casey said, but what made you tell Casey in particular?
She worked in a doctor's office.
Okay. Okay. For the days that you babysat Evelyn, was she clean and when Megan would drop her off?
No.
Okay. Can you tell us what Evelyn was like when she would be dropped off by Megan?
She was dirty. She smelled like urine. I would give her a bath and clean her up.
Okay. And was that every time that you babysat was like
Yes.
that? Okay. What about her clothing? Was her clothing clean?
No, it was dirty.
Okay. What about her face? Was her face clean?
No, it was dirty.
Okay. Pass the document to you. Take a moment to look at it, see if you recognize it.
Yes.
Okay, what is it?
Text between me and Megan.
Okay, what's the date of that?
December the 21st.
2019?
Yes.
Okay. Is that a fair and accurate representation of the conversation between you and Megan on that date?
Yes.
We'd ask that be made exhibit number 90.
Paper? Full zip now.
Okay. Permission to publish, Your Honor? Okay. Before I put this up, do you remember discussing with Megan about payment
Yes.
for babysitting? Had Megan paid you prior to this date?
No.
Okay. Why?
Little pin note, Megan has shown a pervasive pattern of lack of responsibility, lack of accountability. She left her father's home because she wouldn't clean her room, according to him. And again, this is according to him. The family owns a trailer park. They cleaned out an entire trailer, put new to her things in there, and she left that trailer. They had to, okay, y'all, they had to take out the subflooring. That's how grody it was. So she has a pervasive pattern of using people, of, again, not taking accountability or anything else like that. The defense is going to have a Sisyphean feat trying to roll, her up the hill to get her to the top of Sympathy Mountain, and I just don't think they're going to get there.
Why not? Why was she, did she say why she wasn't paying you?
She was supposed to be in a custody battle with, I guess, the baby's daddy.
Okay, did she eventually pay you?
Yes, she
And
did.
how did she pay you?
She put it in a mailbox and sped out.
Okay, you said sped out?
Yeah,
Okay.
sped in her tires.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, I'm gonna show you this conversation.
What are you, 12, Megan? Really? She watched your baby. She took care of her and made sure that she wasn't in, complete pain because of this monster diaper rash. And you have the gall to be upset that she wants payment for her time and energy, like you promised to pay her. Ugh, just again, corroded dumpster water behavior. And this courtroom is less tech savvy than me, so I feel validated.
That's okay. Okay, can you see that okay? A little bit bigger. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, so we've got the date of December 21st, 2019, and you're saying to her, I don't know why you don't want to pay me. I could sure use the money. I'm broke, out of gas. Please pay me. I hope I didn't do something to make you mad. And what does Megan say to you?
She said, I'm sorry. My baby's daddy is taking me to court. I guess that's supposed to be a lot of problems lately. I'm on my way. I'll put it in your mailbox.
Okay, and what did she say after that?
Sorry, I've been crying, or I would have stopped and talked. I'm sorry. It took me so long. It just been a process, and he has temporary custody of her. I've not gotten to see her in days.
So I'm not sure why she didn't report her for the diaper rash. Maybe it didn't reach the level to which she felt like she could report it. I'm not sure. Just a note for people who just started watching this trial, there was no custody battle. Ethan never fought for custody. He was in the military. Again, he was in basic training where he couldn't have had custody of her. So Megan was not in a custody battle of any type, sort, or, it was a fig Newton of her imagination.
Days.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Sue, please answer any questions that the defense might have for you, okay?
Good morning, my name's Gene Scott. How are you? How well did you know Megan?
Not well at all.
Okay, did you ever interact with her when she was at your sister's home and was part of
No.
foster care?
No.
So how many times did you meet her?
Maybe 3.
Okay. And the picture you took, you said was the last time you kept Evelyn.
Yes.
When was that?
In,
I realize you may not have the exact date, but you know
in
the month?
December, I think.
Okay. Fair to say it was after Thanksgiving?
Yes.
And you remember the day of the week it was?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Now, there was some talk,
All right. Also, just a FYI public service announcement. Apparently in Tennessee, it is against the law to know what date it is and what month it is. You must vaguely answer that it was sometime generally around February. Honest to goodness, y'all, no one but the federal agent in this case could remember exact dates, and that's every daggone witness. Now, I do get that this trial has been ongoing for years. This crime happened in 2000 or possibly 2019. We haven't gotten to the medical examiner yet, but no one knows what date, no one knows what time, no one knows anything about any sort of time continuum questions in this trial. So just in case you get confused as why no one knows dates, I think it is a law in Tennessee that you don't know dates.
testimony you said Megan later after that had told you that she wouldn't need you anymore. Is that right?
Yes.
Do you know, was that a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
I'm saying maybe 2 weeks.
Was it up around the time she paid you?
Yes.
She ultimately paid you, I think, for that babysitting in December.
Yes.
Was it around the 22nd, maybe? Does that ring a bell?
I'm thinking it was maybe the last week,
Up close to
I mean,
Christmas?
first week of December.
That's when you said that,
Oh,
okay.
that's what I'm supposed to, yeah, I'm not quite sure.
I'm not trying to confuse you, but your testimony was that you last watched her sometime in December.
Yes.
Okay? And then we've seen your text messages here. I think they were, can I withdraw the last exhibit, please?
Bailiff's like, I'm not even getting up, sir. How did
December the 21st is when you texted her asking her about the money.
I have never seen this bailiff look. Bailiff Mosey and Meander has never looked upset. Then you see him, can I pick up this paper? Ooh, there was some shade in there. And on the Petty Express, shade respects shade.
December the 21st is when you texted her asking her about the money.
Okay.
So would it have been after that she told you she wouldn't need you any further?
It could have been.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Can we have just a moment?
Court stands in recess.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. This woman looks like she.
Raise your right hand, man. You solemnly state-
This is a mama bear, so I can already tell it. Court TV, Erica, Stacy, Megan dated Erica's son. Now, let me tell you, there is no one more scary than a pissed off mama bear boy mom. So I think we are about to get some tea, and I am here for it because you know what if they say, if you have nothing nice to say, sit next to me. I want the tea, or at least. Maybe it's some other way, like if you don't have anything nice to say, keep your mouth shut, but that's impossible, so we'll just go with the other one. And my hands are not being helpful today, so I'm just going to get Erica Stacy going on. Oh, for heaven's sake, won't you? I am a semi-professional. I am.
State your name, sir.
Erica Stacy.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but
I do.
the truth. So with me. Speak up and speak your truth.
Okay.
Well, she has testicles, not gonna lie. Slinky, mine, I'm gonna be honest, I always thought I was gonna be a Truvy. I was hoping to be, Dolly Parton. And as I've grown up, I realize I'm a Weezer. I'm gonna dress up as a nun and go bar hopping. Really.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. And your name is spelled E-R-I-C-A?
Yes, ma'am.
S-T-A-C-Y, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Stacy, where do you live?
Kingsport, Tennessee.
Okay, and do you know the defendant, Megan Boswell?
I do.
How do you know her?
She dated my son, Caleb.
Okay, and do you remember when they dated?
It was spring of 2019.
Okay. Do you know how long they dated?
2 or 3 months.
Okay, and during that time, did you get a chance to meet Evelyn?
I did.
Okay. Can you recall how many times you met Evelyn, like in person, face to face?
It was a handful of times, probably no more than 10.
Okay. Did you have a relationship with Evelyn?
I feel like I did.
Okay. What was your relationship like?
I mean, I would see her when she would come to the house, and her and Caleb were hanging out.
Okay. So, what city did you say you lived in?
Kingsport.
Okay, so she would come to your house in Kingsport?
Yes.
Okay. During those 10 times-ish that you said you thought that you had seen Evelyn in person, was Megan always with her?
Yes.
Okay. Was there any time that you saw Megan where you did not see Evelyn? Yeah,
There
but
was-
let me ask you this way, before Thanksgiving of 2019?
No.
Okay.
No, they were pretty much connected at the hip.
Okay, so every time you saw Megan, you saw Evelyn?
Yes.
Okay. To your knowledge, personally, did Megan ever allow anyone to babysit Evelyn?
Just family.
Okay. Did you ever babysit Evelyn?
No.
Okay. Did you ever offer to babysit?
Yes.
Okay. So did you say they were together just a few months?
Yes.
Okay. When they broke up, did you continue your relationship
I
with
did.
Megan? And why did you do that?
I wanted to help her.
Okay. Did that include Evelyn?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that right there is the most shady, disgusting thing that I have seen some fellow women do, and men, but using babies, using kids to, grift support, grift, care, grift compassion. It's so beyond gross. Megan, if she did what she allegedly did, stole Evelyn from so many people that loved her. And Megan honestly thought that no one was going to notice that Evelyn was gone. She could say for years that Evelyn was just with different babysitters. I don't know where she thought the end game was going to be, but it's incredibly sad to watch her having used her baby for, basically grifting for so many people. It's just so gross.
Okay.
Oh, I just want to give her a hug. And you guys know I'm an awkward hugger because I have that weird bubble thing, so I just end up patting her. But ma'am, your hair is fierce, your shirt is fierce, and you are looking glam-tastic with your hoops. So I know it's hard, but you're doing a great job. So, they're so sweet. All of these people are so sweet. And Megan looks over there looks like a swamp donkey. Just look at her shirt. It looks like they done beheaded a bunch of Q-tips, and that's her shirt. It's a crime against humanity.
Why? Okay. Okay, do you remember Megan bringing Evelyn to your house in September of 2019?
Yes.
And do you remember why they came by that day?
I was putting decals on Maggie's car.
Okay. And just so the jury understands, you occasionally make things on like a machine?
Yes, on a Cricut.
Okay. So you've made like vinyl stickers?
It was like a Chevy decal. We were covering her Chevy emblems.
Okay. And was Evelyn with her that day?
Yes, that was the deal, that I wouldn't charge her for the decals if she brought Evie with her.
Okay. And so you just said Evie. Is that what you would call
That's what we called
Evelyn?
her, yeah.
Okay. And did you ever see Evelyn again after that date?
Not that I remember.
Okay. September 2019. Do you remember seeing Megan again in November of 2019?
Yes.
And do you remember why you saw her then?
I made Evelyn birthday shirts
Okay.
and a gift for
Okay.
her birthday.
Okay. And was that something you also did on your Cricut machine?
Yes.
Okay. Were you aware of when Evelyn's birthday was?
It was November 21st, I believe.
Okay. So this would have been for her first birthday?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you meet up with Megan to get those things to her?
I think she come by the house to pick them up.
Okay. Did she have Evelyn with her that day?
No.
Okay. Can you go ahead and pass? Okay. Can we approach?
See? Beheaded Q-tips, y'all. Beheaded Q-tips.
Okay. Your gloves up there, Stacy?
Yes.
Okay. If you don't mind, grab your gloves.
Okay.
Ooh, evidence. Well, please don't let it be a beautiful baby T-shirt
I'm
for
gonna
a
pass
1-year-old, and I'm gonna
What has been
cry.
labeled as piece of evidence. That was
Okay,
in evidence with Sullivan County, okay?
okay.
And the reason you need to wear the gloves is essentially to, well, there may be something, will the scissors work okay? Just be very careful when you cut the top of the package, just cut it across straight. You can't like rip it.
I've never seen them let a lay person open evidence, or maybe I'm not remembering. This is just striking me as incredibly odd. Tangent aside, back on track.
Spot up here?
Yes.
The foster mom finished up her testimony. Nothing really big. It seemed like Megan was, involved in her life and ready to be a mom and, trying to do her best as a young mom. Then we got testimony from the babysitter who had a little bit of a different story. Megan, didn't want to pay her when she watched Evelyn. She watched Evelyn about 3 or 4 times. Now, the babysitter did testify that Evelyn was dirty and had a fairly severe diaper rash, which prompted her to call one of their friends that worked at a doctor's office to sort of get advice to help Evelyn. And then, she babysat her those 3 or 4 times. Then about 2 weeks later, after Megan stopped bringing Evelyn around, she told her that she would no longer need her services and made a bunch of excuses as to why she couldn't pay the babysitter, saying that she was in this, legal battle with the baby's father, which was fictitious. So who knows? This is now Erica Stacy. Her son dated Megan for a couple months, and I guess she made birthday gifts for Evelyn on her, is it a circuit or a cricket? I am so bad at girling. I have no idea what those are. These might be the shirts and things that she made for her birthday. I'm not quite sure.
And then, yes, if you can go ahead and just take out within the envelope, and don't show it to the jury yet, but see if you can identify that.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me what it is?
It's the shirt that I made for Evelyn for her birthday.
Okay.
Oh,
Your Honor,
her
I guess at this point, we would ask for it to be made Exhibit 91. One moment.
For identification.
And I would like to note that Megan has not cried
Identification
half
only.
as much as any of these witnesses on the stand.
If you could place it back inside the envelope for me. Thank you.
Sweetheart, you mama bear it up. You pull it together. We're going to get through this.
Erica, because of the rules, the way the rules are laid out, we can't yet show that. But I'm going to ask you, if you could, to please tell the jury what it looks like.
It was a blue long sleeve shirt that had the yellow baby shark on it. That was her favorite one.
Okay. And did you put anything personalized on it, or?
It just talked about it being her first year, her 1-year birthday.
Okay. Okay. And you personalized that for her?
I did.
You had put that
I
on
did.
to the, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm going to pass you, again, we're going to do the same thing. This is the last one.
Okay.
Come on, you got this. We're going to get through this together. Go home, drink.
And again, just be, try to take care in cutting it if you can.
Nope. I elect Erica Stacy to be our resident evidence opener. This chick knows how to use scissors. She doesn't do the crinkly box stuff right next to the microphones. Erica, you are hired in all courts now to open crinkly things. You are a goddess.
Pull it all the way out.
Yes, if you can identify it without pulling it all the way out, that's fine. We're just only see if you recognize it.
Yeah.
Okay, you do?
I know.
Okay. Can you tell us what it is?
It's a baby shark blanket that I had put Evelyn's name on in pink glitter.
Okay. And is that also what you had given to Megan
birthday.
for Evelyn to wear for her first birthday, or to have for her first birthday?
Yeah.
Okay. And what color, did you say what color the blanket was?
Blue. It's got the baby shark characters on it.
Okay. Your Honor, at this time, we'd ask that to be offered as Exhibit 92 for identification only. So those 2 items, are those the 2 items that you gave to Megan before Evelyn's first birthday?
Yes.
And what was the purpose of those items?
The shirt was to be worn for her birthday party that I was told was being planned.
Okay.
And then the blanket was the gift.
The blanket was the gift. Okay, gotcha.
Okay, this woman, Megan is no longer even dating her son, and she still made Evelyn a gift. What a sweetheart. Just every single person on here that has come up has been so real and raw with their emotion. And Megan sits there like freaking the chick from The Ring with her hair all like so infuriating. She's doing a Letitia Stalk, and I don't know, but I didn't need Letitia Stalk 2.0.
Around Megan, did she ever say anything about Evelyn that surprised you?
She would always say that Evelyn was mean as crap.
Okay. And is that the word she used, crap?
No, she would say mean as shit.
Okay. Did she say that more than once?
Yes.
Okay. And that would have been around the time that Evelyn was a year old?
Yes.
Okay.
I've talked about this before, but Evelyn is mean to Megan because Evelyn is becoming a person. Before this, before the first year of life, say the first couple months, again, Megan saw her as kind of a purse puppy, an accessory. And once Evelyn became a real person, once her personality and her agency started coming out, well, then she's mean. Then she doesn't want to listen to Megan. Then she is purposely being mean. Instead of exploring her world and being a normal 1-year-old, she is being mean. Everything she does is an inconvenience to Megan because, in Megan's mind, Evelyn is consciously, trying to get in her way and, be a burden. She's not, a blessing, she's a burden. And now, Evelyn's starting to need things. She's getting into things. I have to clean things. I have to pick things up off the floor. It's a drag. I can't go to my boyfriend's. I have to find someone to watch her. That's how Megan thought, at least in my opinion. Speculatively, I still need to get a tinfoil hat.
Why did that surprise you?
I was raised, you just don't say that about a child.
Was Evelyn a mean baby?
Not that I ever saw.
Okay. What type of baby was Evelyn?
Very happy, very smiley.
Okay. And
Holy
you recall
crap,
trying
in
to
the
reach out
handbasket, she learned how
to
to use a Kleenex.
Megan.
Point of order, Megan, apart from being a swamp donkey, and maybe because she is a swamp donkey, does one of these things like a 5-year-old. She has done it, and we do have a counter because I am that petty. Let's see, here we go. Where is it? We are up to 13 snot slides. And I think we have figured out why Sarah Boone's hair is so stiff. Again, snot must be great gel. Things you learn in prison.
To continue to try to see Evelyn again?
Yes.
Okay. And would Megan respond to you?
She did for a little bit, and then there was a time that she didn't respond.
Okay. Did you buy Christmas gifts for Evelyn?
I did. I bought gifts for Maggie and Evelyn.
Okay. And did you reach out to?
I did.
Okay. And did she acknowledge when you reached out?
She did. She was supposed to come by our house on the 24th.
Okay. And did she come by?
She did not.
Okay. Did you see Megan again after Christmas?
I saw her in January.
Okay. So January of 2020?
Yes.
Okay. Where did you see her?
Her and Hunter came to my church twice.
Okay. And who was Hunter?
Hunter was her boyfriend at the time.
Okay. So she came to your...
Hunter is Chicken Shack Guy, just in case you want his real name. But he will always be Chicken Shack Guy, Tato Wedge Romance Man to me. Love in the Fry-lator.
Church twice. Were both of those times in January?
Yes.
Okay. Did she have Evelyn with her either of those times?
No.
Did you find it strange that Evelyn was not with her?
Yes.
Why?
Because anytime I saw Maggie, for the most part, Evie was on her hip.
Okay. Did you ask Megan where Evelyn was each
Yes.
time you saw her in January?
Yes.
And what did she tell you?
She told me she was with her father,
Okay. And did you know what his name was?
Ethan.
Okay. Do you remember when you saw them at church asking Megan what Evelyn thought about Hunter, Megan's new boyfriend?
Yes.
What did she say?
that they had not been around each other.
Okay. Did you ask that question both times that you saw her?
Yes,
And what did she say?
that they hadn't been around each other.
Okay. When you saw Megan at church those 2 times, did she ever seem to be upset about Evelyn not being around?
No,
Can you describe her demeanor?
she seemed happy.
Did she ever verbally express worry for Evelyn or her safety?
No,
Okay. Did she give you any indication that anything was even wrong with Evelyn?
no,
Okay. At some point, did you learn that Evelyn had been reported as a missing child?
well, yes, detectives just showed up at our house
Okay.
wanting to know where I was. And I was on my way to Knoxville, taking my daughter to an appointment.
Okay.
You roped this sweet baby. You mumbling muppet. You absolute boiling, festering, well, cyst on the taint of humanity that needs to be lanced allegedly in Minecraft. This sweet woman got you a Christmas gift, got your baby a Christmas gift, made you your baby personalized birthday stuff, and you got her roped into getting, hauled in for an interview and detectivating. You are just, ugh. Oh, I have a taint story coming up here, you guys. Mornings with Mo. Learn about taints. Anything that sells.
And is that how you learned that
Yes.
Evelyn was missing? Okay. So not from Megan?
No,
Okay. So during the time that Evelyn's missing, did you see Megan Boswell again?
I did.
Okay. And do you remember where you saw her?
I picked her up at the Walmart in Bristol.
Okay. Do you remember what month that was?
I do not.
Okay.
I want to say February maybe.
Okay. And why were you picking her up at Walmart in Bristol?
She said she didn't have anywhere to go.
Okay.
And I thought maybe she would talk to me if it was just me and her.
Okay. Because you felt like you had that kind of relationship?
I did.
Okay. What was your purpose in talking to her that night?
To see if she could tell me where Evie was, who had her.
Okay. And are you doing this while you're driving
Yes.
with her? Okay. And I'm assuming you asked her those questions
I
when
did.
you got in the car. What was her response to you about where Evelyn was?
She didn't know.
Okay. Did she ever tell you, did she mention Ethan? Because she told you about Ethan before. Did she mention Ethan that day?
It was that Ethan had her. Ethan had quit answering her calls, her texts, wouldn't answer the door.
Okay. What was her demeanor in the car that night?
Emotionless.
Okay. Can you tell me what you mean by that?
There was nothing. Like most answers were, I don't know. And there were no tears. There was no frantic, what I think I would have been had my child been missing. There was none of that.
It absolutely, what she's saying is the truth. Megan had very flat affect. She would have, again, Sarah Boone, almost eruptions of emotion, but they, again, were uncanny valley. She almost had to think about them. She would talk about Evelyn and then remember maybe she was supposed to be sad and would kind of like, or she would, remember something about her mom and realize she was supposed to be mad. It was an incredibly odd disconnect because she would go from flat affect. I told a story, I think yesterday, about my youngest, most feral being lost in my house. And in 10 minutes, that I couldn't find him between when I had called 911 and they arrived. I had run around my entire block. Now, my entire block is about a mile. I am a fluffy fluffer nut, okay? I do not run. This was before I was crippled, but I do not run, like, not my jam. I had checked, my backyard, the lake around my house, the creek around my house. I had checked with several neighbors, and I had run through my house. My heart was racing, and that was 10 minutes that felt like the longest of my life. And of course, as soon as the sheriff pulls in and comes into my house and I start, trying to pull up pictures where my youngest, most feral son isn't doing one of these. Yeah, trying to find a picture of my youngest, most feral son where he's not doing a Bart Simpson are about impossible. And I was like, for the love of all that is Cheetos, my son is going to look like a weirdo on the milk carton. Yes, that popped into my mind. I don't know, therapist would have a field day with me. Of course, at this point, when the detective or the sheriff shows up and gets his little flippy notebook out, my youngest, most feral emerges from the basement in full cuteness again for his safety and was like, Mommy, I love you. I fall asleep. And so I hugged him and experienced the biggest adrenaline dump I had ever had in my entire life. I was I was done for the rest of the day. The adrenaline rush, the heart racing, the nightmare images just popping up in your head every 5 seconds, willing yourself to run faster and faster and faster, finding him, not finding him, trying to prepare yourself if you come across the worst because all of these horrible nightmare images are running through your head. That is how real parents work. We're not, oh, we'll go to Gatlinburg with our new, chicken shack man. We'll go to, the aquarium. We'll meet all these people. We'll tell all these stories. No, it is a never ending nightmare of terror, not knowing where your child is. Because you think reality is scary, try being a parent when you can't find your kid. Even if it's just 2 minutes in Walmart because they have snuck into the daggone, clothes rack, or they went down the wrong aisle. It is terror like you've never known. And I say that as like a mom who has, again, 6 kids doesn't make me an expert, but I can tell you I have never experienced anything like that. And to go 4 months without knowing where my 13-month-old was, I would be a shell of myself. I don't know if I would get out of bed, or I wouldn't ever stop running. I would be making flyers everywhere. I would be stopping people everywhere. I would be going onto people's property. I would not give 2 craps in a handbasket. I would be finding my baby. And that's how moms roll. And that's moms of the heart and moms of the spirit and biological moms. All parents that care about people, all, caring people feel. Megan just doesn't get it because she doesn't have that part of her soul. It is atrophied or it was never there to begin with. Allegedly in Minecraft, these are all my opinions. I am neither a doctorologist, a criminologist, or a phrenologist, though I would like to examine Megan's head. You got this, Mama Bear. You got it. Looking fierce. I love her hair. Very fierce. Very flattering. And just, a touch of silver. Very beautiful. And matches her shirt just awesome. I love that I go into Elle Woods like snaps. When I want to help someone, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be just super positive and give you all the snaps. I have become Elle Woods. Again, not a terrible thing to be, but I am a fake redhead, which I need to get this redone at some point. I will say that this judge is extremely thoughtful, does look at case law, takes time if he thinks he needs it to
Just to clarify, this is after Evelyn had already been reported missing, is that
Yes,
right?
yes.
I'm sorry, let me go back just a bit.
Is that
Yeah.
right? Just to clarify, and this is after Evelyn had already been reported missing, is that
Yes,
right?
yes.
During the time that you knew Megan, do you feel like you got to know her fairly well?
As best as I could.
So that would be from the time she started dating Caleb?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you said that was in spring of 2019, is that right?
Yes, yes.
Did you see Megan on the news interviews that she gave?
I did.
Okay. Did you watch those interviews?
Of course.
Was the Megan that you saw in those television interviews the same Megan that you knew?
No,
How was she different?
it almost seemed rehearsed, practiced. She just,
Okay.
I don't know how to describe that.
Okay, we can stop with that.
Watchdog. I have not watched ahead, so I do not know who the father is, if they have revealed that yet. I found myself becoming more and more irritated with Megan, to the point that I was like, let's skip the trial, which is never a good place to be when you do respect the rule of law and all that. So I stopped doing deeper research into this, but I will try to look that up probably after the stream. I'm afraid, with multiple storm fronts moving in, I am, here for the Petty Express, but my hands and everything else are, here or not here. So my notes are even suffering. I usually take about a gajillion pages of notes, but it's beginning to look a lot like doctor-ish. Slinky, I don't believe so. But I will look that up probably tomorrow morning as I'm doing musings with Mo. But I will look that up. I have it on my handy dandy notebook. Actually, let me look that up right now.
Stacy, give me just a second.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to spoil myself. Again, you guys, I know I am harping on this, but this sweater is so offensive to me. This sweater hurts my soul, and I really don't know why. And look, it has been a not so great day with the pain with Hagatha, so I might be a little filterless. But what is this sweatshirt? It's hurting my soul. Now, the defense alleges that, again, if you go with their theory, baby Evelyn passed away by accident or by SIDS, and Hunter disposed of her. According to them. According to them, Megan was so distraught that, she couldn't do anything with the baby other than cry, and Hunter took care of it, again, according to her. Now, there are some snags with that theory. The baby was found on Tommy Boswell's property. He does have a gate that requires a fob. Now, again, you can argue that Hunter took Megan's car, or the fob is movable between cars. Even though, it somewhat has to align with the fact that Megan Boswell's car was seen on the property. Now, another thing that hasn't been fully, brought up in this trial, but is sort of tangential or a little bit of background information to help you understand culturally, it is implied that the Boswells are part of the traveler community. The travelers, they can be called Irish travelers, Roma gypsies, again, there are certain, let's say, stereotypes that go on with that. But you would not want to go onto an Irish traveler's property if you were not invited, is kind of where I'm going with this. So if, Hunter had gone out there to dispose of Evelyn by himself, things might have gotten bad, is all I'm saying. So there are some issues with that. I don't think that I think the defense is grasping at straws. I think there's going to be a heavy, burden on the state to prove that Evelyn was alive, because that is a pretty, heavy duty claim, and we need to get to the medical examiner. Now, I am told that the medical examiner comes tomorrow. We will try to get at least 2 or 3 hours in today and then go at our own pace. This year is about honoring going at my own pace, which is not one of my strong suits, if you hadn't noticed. I hate going at my own pace. I would much rather go at squirrel pace. But now that I can't do that, I have to settle for like skippity hop, pace, and that's for me.
In the past, and ask if you recognize them.
I do.
Okay, what is it?
It's messages between myself and Maggie.
Okay, for what date?
January 8th, 2020.
Okay, is that a fair and accurate representation of your conversation with her on that date?
Yes.
Okay, Your Honor, we'd ask that be made exhibit number 93.
Any objection?
No, sir.
Before exhibit 93.
And can I just say, I appreciate Bailiff Mosey Meander. He is just, again,
Permission
there
to
are
publish?
rarely any times in my life I get to use the word mosey. And he does mosey.
Okay.
Oh, for the love of Cheetos,
First
get
one.
better at this, people.
You stated, I've been worried to death about you. Are you okay? Why did you send that message?
I mean, that's right in the midst of people looking for Evie. And I hadn't heard from her.
Okay. So Evelyn had not been reported missing yet at that point. So,
Then that was if I've not heard from her, because we talked quite a bit.
okay. And then you asked her, did you and Evelyn have a good Christmas? And what did she say in response to you?
She says we did. Did me read all of
Oh,
that?
actually, that's not. One moment, Your Honor. This is not.
Oh, for the love of all that is flapjacks, get it together, ma'am. Although I do love your jewel colored
Wait,
jacket. Oh, for Skittles. I'm trying not to curse because I'm not 2 hours in. Not that I'm doing ads for this, but, still trying to not infuriate the YouTube gods. For they are fickle and flirtatious and, well, ephemeral and existential. Oh, for... All right, where it looked like we're taking a break.
We need to talk before we break the jury again.
Let's have Quentin.
Oh, okay.
The jury's outside.
And thank you, Slinky, so much for being a member for 14 months. Beyond anything I could have imagined, the support I received from you guys, from everyone who watches, it has just been an amazing ride, and I hope to keep improving. I know I am inordinately proud of my trailer that I made for the Petty Express. So I want Thought Bubbles over Glamma and Bailiff Mosey. I think that we can, you know what, when I get my wigs back out, we are doing a Glamma and, Bailiff Mosey, skit. Because I'm going to have a green screen, you guys. I am so excited for my potential studio. So I will deal with craziness and boxes and all of that. And Mr. Mo will make a header and keep support walls up. He was telling me stuff and I was like, sweetheart, as long as I get to paint it the fun color I want, I really, like anything else, I am, just show me glitter and I'm cool. Like, I just want to do the designy parts. I don't care about the construction sweaty part. Oh, for heaven's sake, I will get better at this.
Absolute violation of this court's
Oh,
order.
no, no, no. I'm a semi-professional, y'all. I feel like Lucy when the chocolates are all coming out. I'm
Well, I
just
think we're
shoving them
taking
in
from
my
a
mouth
cell
and my
phone.
bra. Oh, crudola.
Which were, I believe to be scripted. Judge, it appears what has happened, we have been admitting what I believe to be screenshots, what I think the court believed to be screenshots of text messages, which were ultimately a created document that were taken from a cell phone dump. We have, I don't know how many exhibits of that. Notice that on the last one, that exhibit, it came in admittedly without objection because I thought it was a screenshot of the cell phone dump. Or a screenshot, not of the dump itself, but of a screen. It's a screenshot. When the last exhibit was published to the jury, it contained a note that Mr. Horn noticed in the letter of our objection. It contained a note made by the district attorney's office. It's already been up on the screen and published to the jury. I have concern now that all of these documents, and I have concern that there could be other errors that we haven't caught. At this point, I'm going to move the court for a mistrial.
Okay. Well, that
Judge, a couple
escalated
things in
quickly.
response. Some of those are, I know the Instagram messages actually are screenshots of what was on the phone, so those are not. The other ones are taken from the either Facebook proceeds or text conversations that were done from the phones. They're identical. The only thing we've done is put them in a format that makes them look like what you would see if you were looking at Facebook Messenger or at a cell phone. That's the only thing. The one that was most recently up in front of the screen is admittedly not verbatim what was in the text, and that's what was caught. It's just human error in reviewing all this. But everything else is identical. They've all been read. Most of them have been read in court.
Ugh. I mean, that's not good. Again, it needs to be verbatim. And why are they taking screenshots of phones? Like, I know there are technological, like Harry Potter wizards that understand the Matrix that I'm sure can print out little doodads that look exactly like the thing. I'm sure. Look, IT goatee would understand. Anyone with an IT goatee, just go ask them. I'm sure they understand the Harry Potter magic bullshit that makes the internet work that I barely understand and just hope my computer doesn't, rebel against me when Skynet takes over. Although I do curse at it a lot, so I'm probably going straight to like human prison. To be fair, I think my NutriBullet likes me, so, that's a good thing. Not sure about the garbage disposal, but to be fair, if, Skynet comes on, I'm not putting my hand down there. Anywho.
And those messages and Facebook communications Mr. Scott's had those for several years now and reviewed them. And if he disputes the veracity of them, he can sit there and go back through and check them word for word, but they're identical. There's nothing substantively that's been placed before the jury that's either inaccurate or misleading. The only thing that's not correct is that last one that was up on the screen. Otherwise, it's just it's not a substance thing. It's just the fact of what they, the only thing we've changed is how they look on the screen. The profile pictures that told Mr. Scott, they're taken from Facebook Messenger. There's nothing, we haven't created any content as far as that's concerned. So there's nothing that's been put before the jury that's in any way misleading or inaccurate.
So the raw data was from the cell phone.
Correct. From the forensic extraction, yes.
And those were placed in, basically, you made a demonstrative
Correct.
evidence.
As I said, I really like this judge. He does have a very calm, kind of staid demeanor. He doesn't get riled much. He's very thoughtful. Seems to really go into the law, make sure he is doing it right, make sure this will be appeal proof. And, he just seems to be a really good judge for this kind of case. Very steady, very, just almost paternal, but just a steady, solid force, keeping, everyone sort of on track. but it is a much slower pace than I'm used to. Again, Bailiff Mosey. I do not live in Mosey Town. I live in, too type A to function town. And again, having now to slow down is the biggest thing for me. I'm like, no.
Have the, has the raw data been provided in discovery?
Oh, yes, Judge, that's been provided, they've had that for years.
And the demonstrative,
That was made available, Mr. Scott wanted, we had him and his investigators in our office several weeks ago, they wanted to look at it. We didn't specifically identify which things we were using, as the trial's going on, some we've used and some we haven't used, so, but yes, they've been available.
Judge, I was not aware of that. We did meet with Mr. Harper and Ms. Massengill. They're very kind to have us up there, but you have to understand, we talked over generally what data we had. I don't remember talking over this demonstrative data. We do have the cell phone extraction.
Are we doing a Mr. James Owens from Sarah Boone trial? Look, we have had years, but I didn't see all this. Look, I wasn't told you were going to make demonstratives. I need more time, blah, 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 mistrial. Again, I think it's good that he brings it up because it is an appealable point. Not being a lawyer, I don't know how effective this is going to be. I doubt that there is going to be a mistrial since there are still continuing days of this trial. I'm guessing, Miss Cleo style, that, they did not get their mistrial. For some reason, I'm thinking that I might be accurate.
And as these are coming in, the way they look to me, I'm not raising a big stink at it at the time because it looks like screenshots. Picture's worth 1,000 words. And so we see this last one come in. But as far as someone sending me the demonstrative data and saying, we're going to use this or we have this, no. That's my understanding now. In everyone's defense, these files are huge. I can't tell you that I can say chapter and verse, which is in every folder, and I doubt they can either. But at the same time, I find myself now in a position where we're in the middle of the trial. It would be near impossible to go back and compare all of these documents.
I don't think Judge, if you want me to, I don't think it'd be that difficult for us to pull these messages from what they come in Facebook. And if you want to compare them, we can isolate those. I don't think that'd be difficult at all. It's not that many messages that have been admitted at this point.
The state's like, it's no problem, sweetie. We will give you the receipts. I love subtle petty. Although I think he was just trying to be nice. I don't get that, but.
Because of the state. Now, I think if the extractions hadn't been provided, I would have to. The other question would be, do I need to declare mistrial? Because the one inaccurate demonstrative aid was placed up on the monitor. That I will note that part of that message was not read. It was not read, and I know that General Massengill is one of the first brought to our attention that there was a problem. So I'm not going to order a mistrial this time for that. I will give curative instruction that if any of the jurors read that last bubble for the few seconds it was up there, but to put that out of the mind, and they're not to consider it what now my concern. So I'm going to deny the motion for mistrial. For those reasons. I don't find it manifest necessity to mistrial.
Yeah, I've tried to boost it as much as I can.
Well, I guess going forward, I'll just take any objections as they come. If I can't give you any advisory opinion.
For the love of all that is ham sandwiches, use your flippin' flapjack mic. Look, I can't owe money to the swear jar. Y'all are gonna make me, y'all are testing the Jesus in me. Use your daggone mics. when I'm Empress of the Pettyverse, and I come into my full powers, I'm making every single lawyer go to an audio-visual class. It's mandatory. They will learn how to use lapel mics. They will learn how to not crinkle things in front of the mic or breathe, you know. They will learn to be good with mics because I demand it from now on. I need a tiara or a little conductress hat. Oh my God, do not let me near Amazon right now. I will buy the most redonkulous junk and then Mr. Mo will be mad at me because, you know, again, I already have enough junk, which I don't think I have.
I just want you to talk about it.
Well, I don't take that long. A couple hours probably. Yeah. Yeah, well, that's fine.
Sidebar, sidebar. And someone's wearing the upholstery from my grandma's couch. Whatever couch had to die to make that sweater, it was not worth it. That ottoman was probably beautiful. Oh, for heaven's sake. And they went straight to lunch. I do like speed running the trial. Alrighty. Oh, push play. The couch is alive in a sweater now. Okay, are they not letting us hear them talk?
Message that was an error, everything else matches up. There are gaps in the conversations, which is concerning to me that they are not sequential. So the jury could be, I think the jury is left with a impression that these are screenshots. I think that's what several of us in the room thought when they were coming in. So without waiving my earlier motion for a mistrial, my suggestion would be if the court.
As much as I have not really enjoyed the defense's tactics, or at least their approach, I do appreciate what he is saying because I honestly thought they were screenshots too. So, you know, that is an assumption that, you know, he is actually correct in saying the juries might have felt that those were actual screenshots. Now, whether they used a demonstrative or whether they used the or the Cellbrite dump, if the words are the same, I'm not sure how much that changes the texture of what they saw versus, you know, a Cellbrite sort of, you know, clinical dump versus giggity, I don't know. Or, you know, the demonstratives they put together. If the verbiage is exactly the same, I'm not sure that there's a difference. But again, not a lawyer, so maybe there are some statutes or something like that that, you know, explain that. And lawyerly people know.
Since the court has denied that, the court crafted curative instruction to explain to the jury that these are not screenshots. These are text messages selected by the state, which are a portion of the text messages contained on a telephone download. I think that in fairness would at least let the jury know that this is.
That's not unreasonable.
Because for instance, there could be more conversation between Megan Boswell and the Hawkins, Bailey Hawkins. There could be more conversation between there, and it may not be relevant, but to make it look like they haven't had any more conversations between there, it's like, they're talking about this and they're talking about it again.
So
I think we
are
just need
they,
for the jury to know that it's,
are they wanting to use the rule of completeness? Are they wanting the jury to look at every single text message that was sent in this case? Because if so, I can tell you the jury is going to bury Megan underneath a jail, 60 feet under. If I had to read a gajillion and 27,000 Zoomer text where they just use letters and crazy slang and I have no idea, I would be beyond irritated by the end of my deliberation. I'm not going to lie. I would hold it against the defense. Would I hold it against the defendant? I would hope not, but the defense would be on my ish list. Ish list. Oh, for the love of Cheetos.
somehow, these are portions of conversations, and what the stages deem to be relevant to their case.
And Judge, I don't have any problem with you giving them an instruction, telling them that's a portion. To the extent it anyway insinuates or infers that there's like stuff that's been left out that might otherwise. I mean, yesterday we were arguing about how cumulative everything was.
And
I mean, part of the reason we didn't do that was to avoid
Thank you for
having
stopping
20 pages
by.
of text messages read to the jury that had nothing to do with the case. So that's part of the reason why they were clipped the way that they were. But, as Mr. Scott said, there's nothing that's been left out or in any way misleads the jury in any way. So I have no problem with the court giving an instruction as to explain what those messages, that whether they're taken from Facebook or Instagram or text are. I don't have any problem with that at all.
I will say, again, this judge has been very steady and deliberate. He's very kind of thoughtful.
Your Honor, so far as Exhibit 93 goes, would that be for the exhibit in dispute? Would that be for ID only at this point?
For this, at this, well,
I know.
I can't actually make it ID only at this point because it's been partially shown to the jury. And I've got to talk with them about that as well. But what I will do is I will make it not published to the jury further.
Okay.
Okay. So Sherry, you need to make a note that 93 does not go back to the jury at the end of the proof.
Oh yeah, Baker, go to bed. You're a sweetheart for stopping by, but I know this is not your jam of cases and you need to sleep. And I don't know if there's going to be anything horrific today, except for that sweater. Ooh. And I am going Lucy red next time. Full on, just bright. And welcome, Zach. Ooh, Bailiff Quickstep.
All right. Sherry, and I don't remember where it was done. Was the motion for mistrial, did we make that sidebar, or did you make that?
It was made from the record, it's in the
It's
record.
in, that's on record. Okay. Stay ready to proceed.
We are, Your Honor. Yes, sir.
And I believe you were still on your directive, Ms.
Stacy.
Miss Erica
Stacy.
Stacy.
And for those of you that have just joined, Erica Stacy is the mother of Caleb, and Caleb used to date Megan for a little bit, 3-4 months. She fell in love with Evelyn, kept in touch with Megan. She calls Megan Maggie. Even after they broke up, gave Evelyn and Maggie, gifts for Christmas and their birthday. Very sweet woman. And thank you so much for your contribution to the swear jar, Zach. I'm here to chew gum and check Mo's grammar, and I'm all out of grammar. Well, yeah, Zach, I'm still a grammar outlaw. It's, ingrained in me. It is a slight rebellion. Also, Again, I call shenanigans on that I before E except after C rule because there's like 100 gajillion words that does not apply to just to screw me over. Now, I'm not sure if it's just to screw me over and to get me to fail, spelling, but I have a feeling I have a personal vendetta against that rule because it always lies. And thank you, Zach, so much. Again, your support, your like, your subs, they are all so greatly appreciated. This is my dream job and I'm working to get better, but I'm still me, y'all. So don't expect like Emily D. Baker levels of production until I get an assistant that will work for Hot Pockets. I'm still working on that. No one's hit me up yet. Can you believe it?
Everyone stand.
I don't think that's ever going to be a problem. I love run-on sentences. I have an addiction. I can't stop a thought. I know you're shocked. Oh, just a point of reminder, please remember that the jury is sequestered in this trial, so they do not get to go home at the end of the day. They go to a hotel room. They do not have access to electronics. They are monitored by bailiffs. This is not a fun thing. So God bless those jurors. And again, they are going to have to see just heartbreaking images. So I do hope that they have access to mental health, counseling after this trial and, support from their family and friends after they have to see what they have to see.
Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the delay. We had an issue that we had to get sorted. The last exhibit that was flashed up on the screen, the very bottom blue box contains some information in there that shouldn't have been put
This
up.
chair. Oh, the trials
I'm
of not being
instructing
in my own office.
Not, if you read it, it wasn't there long. If you read it, I'm instructing you not to consider it for any purpose during your deliberations. Would each and every juror understand that instruction? If you do, raise your right hand. The record reflects that all the jurors raise their right hand. Now, the other thing I want to talk to you about just very briefly, and I'm not commenting on the evidence at all. Some of these exhibits appear to be screenshots of conversations, either text, Facebook, Instagram, whatever other social media platform that there is. And they're not actual screenshots. They are snippets of conversations taken from a phone extraction that was done. Okay? And I just want you to understand that. Which means that it's not necessarily a sequential stream of conversations back and forth. Does everybody understand that? Okay. All right. I think that's it. I believe Miss Stacy was on the witness stand. Will you come back, Miss Stacy?
Again, if Grandma would reach out to me to tell me how to get the Farrah flip, I would be forever grateful. We all bow down to Grandma.
Miss Stacy, you're still under it? No, you're still under it. Sit there and speak up in your mouth. All right, go ahead, Jim.
Okay, thank you. Give Mr. Scott just a second to look at them. Okay, I'm going to pass you a document to see if you recognize it.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, can you tell me what it is?
Messages between Maggie and myself.
Okay, and when you say Maggie, you're talking about Megan Boswell?
Megan, yes,
Okay.
sorry.
And what is the date of those messages?
January the 8th. 2020.
Okay, and is that a fair and accurate representation of your conversation with her on that date?
Yes.
We'd ask that be made exhibit number 94, please.
Mr. Scott? No objection.
Permission to publish?
Okay.
I have grammarosity in spades.
Okay, see if I can make that a little bit bigger. Okay. So what does Megan tell you at 4:34 on January 8th, 2020?
That her and Hunter are for sure coming tonight, meaning church. We tried to come on New Year's, but there wasn't a service.
Okay, what did you say in response?
I've been worried to death about you. Are you okay?
Okay, and then what did you say after that?
Did you and Evelyn have a good Christmas?
And then what did Megan say to you?
My phone is broken. LOL. We did. Did you all?
Okay. And the second part of that exhibit.
I feel that fat fingers.
And then how did you
sometimes.
respond to Megan?
We sure did. I'll bring your presents tonight and give them to you. So are you and Hunter a couple?
And what did Megan say in response?
More or less. LOL. Ethan's leaving to go home tomorrow, so I won't have Evelyn tonight, but I'll bring her next week.
Okay, and what did you say to Megan?
Okay, what does Evelyn think of Hunter?
And what does Megan say?
She's not really been around him much because Ethan's in and has had her a lot. He won't get another break until he's out in September.
And maybe this one different. I'm gonna pass another document to you.
Okay.
We are going to do
Can I
the
ask you to
bailiff
recognize it?
dance
Yes.
of
Okay, can you tell us
documents.
what it is?
Again, messages between me and Megan.
Okay, what's the date of those messages?
February 24th of 2020.
Okay, is that a fair and accurate representation of the conversation on that date?
Yes.
Okay, but ask that be made exhibit number 95. Permission to publish.
Go on. No, before the night.
Okay. So it looks like this happened after Evelyn had been, or you had been notified that Evelyn was missing, is that right?
Mhm.
And what do you say to Megan?
Can you tell me who has or had Evelyn? I'm worried sick about her.
And then what does Megan say to you?
My mom did. That's why TBI was looking for that BMW and she's being questioned.
And then what did you say to Megan?
What did your mom do with Evelyn? The news said she wasn't with them.
And then what question do you ask Megan here?
Has she had her this entire time?
And what does Megan say?
Yeah, I'll talk to you later. I'm just trying to gather pictures of her, but thanks though.
Just,
With them.
no. Oh, okay.
And then what question do you ask Megan here?
Has she had her this entire time?
And what does
That
Megan
was
say?
not me.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later. I'm just trying to gather pictures of her, but thanks though.
Is that the first time she told you something different than Ethan
Yes.
having Evelyn? Okay. Please answer any questions the defense has for you.
Okay.
Oh, the defense. Look, I'm gonna warn you, defense. This mama bear has been brave. She has kept back those tears. And if you are an asshole to her, I'ma lose it, okay? I will make fun of your friar tuck near baldness. I will cut you with my sarcasms, okay? Because we don't mess with mama bears. And this woman is a sweetheart. She is a cutie patootie. She, even though her son wasn't dating her anymore, kept, giving Megan gifts and, keeping up with her life and just wanted to help her. So I swear to all that is holy and hoodly, if you are an a-hole to her, I'ma lose it, sir.
Miss Stacy, my name's Gene Scott. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good, thank you for asking. It's my understanding you knew Megan through her dating your son, Caleb.
Yes, sir.
When did they date?
It was spring of 2019.
Okay, so how old was Evelyn the first time you met her?
Oh, goodness. I honestly do not remember. It was early spring,
Okay, so sometime around March. Is that a fair estimate?
March or April. Yeah.
Okay, so she'd have been somewhere 4 to 5 months old.
Yeah, I was going to say 5 or 6, maybe. I don't know.
Because she's born in November, so if you were
Right.
6, that would put the relationship in May. Was it that
Okay.
late?
I want to say they started dating somewhere around April.
Okay. So how often would you see Evelyn with Megan?
Anytime I saw Megan, Evelyn was with her.
Okay. And I'm assuming when you saw Evelyn with her, you never saw any signs of abuse or neglect. Is that fair
I
to
did
say?
not.
Were you able to ascertain the relationship between the two of them? Did Megan come across you as a loving mother?
It seemed perfectly normal. Most babies that age tend to cling to mom, and Evelyn did that.
Okay. What was Megan's personality like back then?
She was usually kind of quiet till she got to know us a little bit better, and then she would come in and she would just have normal conversations with us.
Okay. At that point, she wasn't unfriendly.
No.
You described her earlier as being unemotional.
The one time that we were in the car together, yes.
That was different than her normal personality.
Yes.
You think you described her as unemotional? She could have been withdrawn. Would that be a fair assessment too?
None.
No.
None
Just
would be a good description.
okay. Just want to make sure I'm clear. Did you ever see any interaction with Megan and Evelyn where Evelyn wasn't dressed appropriately, she was dirty, or anything like that?
Mm-mm. No, sir.
Okay, so I'm assuming you thought she was a good.
For the 11 trillionth time, yes, just like Diane Downs, just like Susan Smith, just like Lori Vallow, they were all, Andrea Yates, they were all great mothers until that one horrific moment they weren't. Again, Megan was a great mom until Evelyn started asserting her own personality, until Evelyn started getting, mouthy and being an a-hole because, she would say no or get into things or, explore her world, make a mess and, make you question why God didn't invent, robots to clean the house. Where is my Rosie robot? I want one right now. The Roombas were not what I was promised. I was promised a jetpack and a Rosie the robot, and I demand both right meow. Back to the point. She just doesn't get it. And it's apparent. And the defense can say all the time that she was a good mom. She was a good mom until she saw a man and wanted better. And Evelyn, either in a moment of calculation or a moment of, pure rage, she did something to that baby that's unforgivable. Allegedly in Minecraft, again, this is my, opinion.
Good mother.
Good.
When is the last time that you saw Evelyn?
September 11th, 2019.
Okay. Ms. Stacy, I thank you for being here and for your testimony.
Yes, sir.
Regrets. May she be excused.
Okay, I do believe in giving snaps for good behavior. So, defense, thank you for not being a god-awful twat waffle, okay? Thank you for just being human, because the last couple times you've been a little iffy. Now, I will contend that girl with laser eyes was giving it right back to you. So, I'll let you have that one.
Yes, Bishop.
Yes.
Ms. Stacy, thank you for your testimony today. You're released from Mr. Kingman. Thank you. All right, next.
Statement called Randy Wood.
Again, can I bitch about spelling? So employee has 2 E's, but employer has only 1 E. Why? It should be 3 E's. We added I'm you know what? Spelling makes no sense. Oh good Lord, is this shenanigans in shenanigans world? I am here for shenanigans. It's nice to be able to have this group with you guys where we can use dark humor and tangents to get through. But then there are moments that, you see a picture of baby Evelyn and it becomes heartbreakingly real that no matter how much humor we use, no matter how much wit and snark, it's it's still a baby that's lost. It's still, a girl that should be 6 years old right now and getting ready for kindergarten and, possibly, already waiting for summer break because school is ridiculous, as my youngest, most feral said. You know, it's just, and this is Hunter's dad. Oh, good Lord. Of course. Well, this is going to be just, I'm guessing hillbilly-tastic, but I'm going to try not to judge because that's my whole goal this year. Don't know if I'm going to achieve it, but, here we go. Yeah, English makes no sense. It really, really doesn't. I think it's the Germanic roots, if I'm honest. Gotta love the rocket. I just love the rocket. Ooh, a sweater.
Is your answer? State your name, please.
Randy Wood?
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Oh, this is
Thank you.
Mr. Chicken Shack
You're Randy
Senior.
Wood, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. And Mr. Wood, where were you living back in 2019?
217 Sandy Point Drive in Bluntville,
All right, you said Bluntville. Was that in Sullivan County?
Sullivan County.
Okay, and just for context, kind of tell us where that's located. Where is
It's
that?
located in Barefoot Landing on the lake.
Okay, out by the lake out there?
Yes. Behind the airport.
Airport, okay. All right, now, we've heard some mention earlier in the trial about Preston Hunter Wood. Is he your son?
Yes, he is.
All right. Now, back in December of 2019, did you open a restaurant here in Bluntville?
I did.
All right, if you would, kind of tell us what it was and what you were serving.
The name of it was Hunter T's Chicken Shack. I was the only owner of the place. It was right there on Highway 75.
All right, where?
I sold chicken, roasted chicken.
Okay. Was it a sit-down restaurant?
No,
or
it
drive-through?
was a drive-through, just like Pal's.
All right, and it's over there, right across, kind of from Northeast State.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you mentioned you were the only owner. Did you have employees?
Oh, help me, Dr. Nowzartan. Now I really want some fried chicken. I know he said he roasted chicken, but the spirit of Dr. Nowzartan, please come to me and remind me that fried chicken is not a protein.
People that work for you?
Yes, yes.
Okay. How many people, how many
Well,
employees?
let's see, we interviewed, we hired everybody that filled the application out, because usually there only about half shows up the day you open up. So I probably had about 12 employees.
Okay. And who made the decision as far as who was being hired or not?
I did.
Okay.
Sad face.
And one of those employees that showed up to apply for a job and work there, did you know Evelyn Boswell?
I didn't know her till she filled the application out. That's the first time I met her.
Okay. And did she apply for a job with you?
Yes,
And did you hire her?
yes,
And do you see Miss Boswell sitting in the courtroom here today?
yes.
If you would, point her out and describe what she's
She's sitting
wearing.
right over there with the glasses on.
Judge, for the record, he's identified.
Is that good?
Record so well.
All right. Mr. Wood, do you remember what day you opened?
It was the first Monday in December, and it was the second.
Okay. Second day of December, is that 2019?
Yes,
All right. Was Miss Boswell working that day?
yes.
Okay. And you mentioned you didn't have a whole lot of employees. Who was in charge of making the schedule and deciding?
Jason Frissett made the schedule and everything.
Okay. Was your son Hunter an employee there?
Yes.
All right. What did Hunter do?
He was mainly just an employee,
Okay.
because Jason sort of run the place when I wasn't there.
All right. So Hunter and Megan worked there as co-workers.
Yes.
Did you work there at the?
Megan, did you sleep with Mr. Chicken Shack Jr. and he wasn't even an assistant manager? Make it make sense, girlfriend. Make it make sense. If you're going to sleep their way to the top of the Chicken Shack fortune, he isn't even a manager. Good Lord.
The restaurant, were you there on a regular basis or?
Pretty much so, Yes.
Okay. So you saw Hunter and you saw Megan together at the restaurant? That's
Yes,
fair statement?
yes.
All right. Where was your son Hunter living at that time?
He was living with me at that time.
Okay. At your house
Out there at that lake, yes.
Okay. Did he have a vehicle that he drove then?
Yes, he had a Ford truck what he drove.
All right. At some point in time, did you realize that your son Hunter was in a dating relationship with Megan Boswell?
Well, you know, it is a weird situation, to be honest with you, because she got her car repoed one day at the chicken shack. And I made Hunter take her to the doctor that day. And, you know, because she didn't have a ride.
Okay. All right.
So that's how they started running around together, because she didn't have a car.
Okay. So at some point in time, you realize they're dating.
Well, they was together a lot, yes.
Okay.
You can say dating if you want to, or
All
together a lot, yes.
Okay. And at some point in time, did she come to live at your house?
Well, she didn't have anywhere to go when they repoed the car. And apparently her father, what she said, kicked her out. So I let her come stay she stayed about 3 nights there. That's all she stayed.
Okay. Were you aware that she had
Megan.
a small child?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever see Evelyn?
No, never saw the baby.
Okay. She never brought Evelyn to work there with her at the chicken shack?
When I hired her, because one of the questions is, you have any kids? Because we work around schedules. Because you got a child, you can't work a lot of hours. So I asked her, she said, yes, I have a baby girl. I said, well, do we need to work around your schedule? She said, no, the baby daddy had the child. She said, I can work as many hours you want. And I said, okay.
Did she work a lot of hours?
She did work a lot of hours.
Now, you said she had stayed at your house. Did you ever bring Evelyn over?
The baby never was in my house.
Okay. Did she ever bring any high chairs or playpens? Or
No, nothing,
diapers, baby bottles?
nothing.
Okay. Did you ever see your son Hunter around? Evelyn?
No,
Okay. How often did you see Hunter at that time?
every day.
Okay. Now, your son Hunter, does he still live with you?
No, he started living with his mother, but he's at hospital at the moment.
Okay. He's at a hospital. Where is he in a hospital?
Marion, Virginia.
All right. Is that a mental hospital?
Yes,
How long has he been there?
2 months.
What, have you been up there to see him at that facility?
Yes.
What is his mental status this time?
Well, some days he's pretty decent. Other days he don't know who I am.
Okay. Would he be able to come into this courtroom and testify?
No.
What in the shenanigans? No, I'm over here trying to sneak a bit of my brownie, and this shenanigans comes the hell up. What? Oh, sure. Was Hunter T a heavy substance user? Are you, sir? You are not John Voight enough to sit there and lie to my face and pee on my shoulder and tell me it's raining. No. I'm going to need to see a doctor's note and a doctor. Because, look, I hate to say someone's fibbing, but someone is fibbing. I'm going to need a phone call with said, mentally unstable person. Oh, he is schizophrenic. Okay, never mind. I retract all statements. Schizophrenia is a terrifying disease. I wouldn't want to be trapped inside my brain. So I do retract all past snark if he does have schizophrenia, because, to be so afraid and paranoid of everything, to be trapped, in your own brain, and when you're taking medicine, you're okay, but you also think that the medicine is trying to control you. I can't imagine living with that. And yes, my stealth brownie attempt was a giant failure.
You mentioned that he'd been there for about 2 months.
Yes.
Had he had mental health problems prior to that?
Yes.
Okay. When did he, if you know, when did he start having mental health problems?
Well, when he got accused of being a baby killer.
Objection.
And honest to goodness, I swear to goodness, if the state can prove that there is no DNA of Hunter Preston Chicken Shack man, and Megan pulled him into this and, took an already fragile psyche and pushed him over the edge. She has just, and again, I don't know what Lord Hades is going to do to, this chick, but it's not going to be very nice. No. I think there might be fire involved, or at least fire ants and honey. But again, I can't imagine having everyone look at you with suspicion. This is a small town. This is, probably a very tight-knit area, very clannish, very cliquish. And to be accused for the entire town of having something to do with, the death of a small child, if you are already battling, mental health demons, I can't imagine the weight that puts on you. And I can understand this father's, pain, the immense anger and frustration if he knows in his soul that his son didn't do this. Again, the Hurricane Megan causes a lot of damn damage, doesn't it? It's a Hurricane 5, isn't it? She just destroys lives left, right, center. Hurricane Megan's all about herself. She doesn't care who gets hurt as long as she doesn't get caught. Allegedly in Minecraft, but you're here for the snark. I shouldn't be laughing at these, you guys. I'm going straight to hell, or I'm going to get stuck here with Nicolas Cage, and then I'm going to start crying. Like ugly crying.
I'll just draw it. I will draw it.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. If you would answer any questions Mr. Scott has for you.
Oh, okay. There is nothing I hate more than the lizard thing. I am sorry. That just, when you get that like chill up your spine because something irks you so bad and then you get the goosebumps? That's what happens to me when people do that with their lips. Again, I suffer from current dramatic stress syndrome, so I let people know if I'm, like, ugh. Anyhoozle. Oh, this is going to be fireworks. Do not be a douche canoe to this man.
Mr. Wood, my name's Gene Scott. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing this?
I'm doing good. Take my reading glasses off. Let's talk about your son. It's Preston Hunter Wood, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. And you said he hadn't had any mental problems till people accused him of being a baby killer.
That's true.
Okay. Since then, he has had quite a few mental problems. Is that
True.
okay? He has been diagnosed as being schizophrenic, suffered hallucinations.
That's probably true. Yes.
Has he been violent towards you or his mother?
No.
Never been violent towards his mother?
Now, as far as I know, we're divorced.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not there.
And you say that if he were brought into this courtroom, he wouldn't be in his right mind to testify.
That's very true.
Could you describe his state to us a little bit more?
Well,
He seems like the wrong witness to ask. Again, I'm not sure what subpoenas they would have to do, what sort of hurdles they would have to go through to, get through HIPAA. But he's a layperson. I mean, I'm guessing he's allowed to speculate as a relative, but it would seem you would want, an expert if you are going to challenge the veracity of his schizophrenia diagnosis. Yeah, the state's attorney hasn't done many objections. Maybe they just think their case is so good. I don't know. Again, we haven't gotten to the medical examiner. We should get there at least tomorrow by the afternoon. Again, that is going to be a super rough one. I'm going to buy out all the snacky snacks, which for me now means just one box of Mike and Ike's, which is a personal victory. Because I used to be 3 boxes of Mike and Ike's. So slow decreasing and sensible ideas. But have your snacky snacks, your emotional support, comfort, floof, and we will get through it. We might do some zany stories just to, tangent for a little bit, but let's get back to this.
He talks about things, you sometimes you don't really know what he's talking about. I mean, I don't know how to put it, it's sad. I mean, this young man was a 4.0 student in school, now he's, I don't know if he's ever going to function in his life again.
Does he hallucinate?
Oh no.
I don't know if he hallucinates, what do you call it? I don't know, what the definition of hallucinate. I mean,
I think the state is now objecting, finally, for flapjacks and floaters. Okay, pause. Can someone take a screen capture of this pose right here with all of them? Because if we can, make him look like Ben Affleck, he has the general posture right now. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. What is HIPAA law? HIPAA is, I cannot remember, but basically it's patient privacy protection. So for HIPAA, basically no one else can call to get your medical information. All those forms you fill out at the doctor and you go through and you put in context that you want to know, they can know about your medical stuff, but not your tests. Basically, it prevents doctors from talking about patients without permission, with sharing medical information. So say like an insurance person came to them, you would have to sign a release. It basically just is supposed to be, a protection for patient privacy, but it, in my opinion, it leads to just a butt ton more paperwork and bureaucracy and not much more privacy than I can tell. But I'm just me, and I'm not a doctorologist nor an insuranceologist. I just live here, and I generally goof around on the internet for my, semi-profitable hobby. Which reminds me, my goal is to grift like Jeff one day. May he rest in peace. But he was the all-time king grifter, and he just did it naturally. So, in Megan Fox fashion, if you have Starbucks money that you would like to donate, anything and everything that supports this channel is greatly appreciated. But if you do not have a dime to spare, then liking and subscribing and sharing are greatly appreciated just as much as any donations, because this channel runs on you guys' support. You guys have been just awesome, and I appreciate it. And all of them will go into the funky, once I find my tags, everything is in boxes. I am so discombobulated. All the tags will go in the Swear Jar Fund little jar for this year. I decided the shadow box, not as fun, but that gumball jar is super duper fun. So we are doing that. It's a law against hippies. I like that, to be honest. I'm always too voluptuous for retro 70s clothes. They were not into the curvy goddess at that time. So it's all these straight pants, which I can no longer wear, and halter tops with no bras. And there is gravity and modesty and, well, just things I'd get arrested wearing in my town. Ooh, Grandma is giving the side eye. I don't know who pissed her off, but someone did, and they're about to pick their own hickory stick. There is nothing worse than the psychological torture of having to go get your own hickory stick.
What do you observe when you visit your son?
Well, mainly I just talk about anything that's pleasant.
I understand.
Yeah.
Is he able to talk with you about things that make sense, or does it not make sense to you? The things he talks about with you, does it make sense always?
No.
Has he talked about Evelyn Boswell?
No.
Are Are you aware that he has in the past been diagnosed with violent threats, hallucinations, and delusions?
No.
No, but that supports that this is not fake, that he had, issues with loss of touch with reality, disassociation, and other things. So actually, it makes, it adds validity. And sir, Mr. Lawyer, Mr. Defense Lawyer, you are standing in front of this man and ripping open, basically fresh scabs and just go salt, 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 you know, lemon, lemon, lemon into fresh open wounds. You absolute jackass. I know it's your job, but daggone, you could be, a little less snarky, you butthole. Gregory Benway, yes. In the defense's story of what happened to Evelyn, Evelyn either passed away from SIDS or was sadly smothered by, all three of them sleeping in a small bed. They are trying to say that Hunter took the baby and, did put her in the trash can and put her on Tommy Boswell's property. Now, there are a lot of issues with that that I've covered before. One being that Tommy Boswell is part of the Traveler community, allegedly. You do not go on Traveler property without being invited. And I doubt that, Ethan showing up late at night randomly would have been a safe thing. Now, that is not to say that he couldn't have taken Megan's car or her fob to open the gate. But again, Tommy Boswell Sr. sees random dude at, shed in the middle of the night. Questions are going to be asked later, if you get what I'm saying.
Okay. Would that surprise you if I told you that's the case?
It'd give me a little shocker, yes. Because I'd never seen it.
So you don't know about that?
I've never seen it before.
Okay, I'll move on. Have you ever seen him be aggressive?
No.
Is there any security measures about, as far as when you visit with him, that requires him to be restrained or anything?
No.
When you talk to him, does he talk about things that are not real, things that are not there?
Well, he talks about the future sometimes, like maybe taking a cruise or things of that nature. Just good stuff.
Never bad stuff?
Never, we don't talk about bad stuff, no.
Okay. Have a minute, Judge.
Oh, figure out how to work the Elmo before you damn dingus.
Has Hunter ever discussed anyone stealing his thoughts with you?
Pardon me?
Has Hunter ever discussed anyone stealing his thoughts with you?
One more time, okay?
Has Hunter ever told you that someone or something steals his thoughts?
He usually informed me with everything, yes, talked to me about everything.
So he's told you that something? It is hearsay, but
I mean,
it's kind of a unique situation. I'm sorry.
Okay, rant incoming, rant incoming. If what I believed is true, because I have a functioning brain and can put together small pieces of evidence that lead me to a likely conclusion, they just admitted wanting to admit illicit hearsay because, it works for their case. They are going to try to, and this is gross beyond words. I thought that they could not stoop lower after they had, after this defense attorney basically got up and told the jurors that nothing you do here is going to help Evelyn because she's dead. And then he tried to dispute the lying to police, charges 7 through 18, I believe, because he's like, look, Evelyn was already dead, so there was going to be no stopping of a crime. Yes, it was just that crass. It was just that crass and gross, and I will be making a video about it at some point when I get time in my life, which will, I hope, come soon. Now, if Megan thought she was going to get her claws into the chicken shack fortune, she saw life at the lake and she was ready to go there. And then she put this man through such torture and such town ridicule that he ended up in a mental health facility. That is a level of evil that I cannot even comprehend. And I don't know how you're going to fix your soul, Megan. It's really not my concern. I know I'm supposed to care as a Christian, whatever, but I'm a bad Christian. Look, I'm still, no, to the pit with you. Like, okay, allegedly in Minecraft, if I could in my head canon be super buff and be, now I'm just saying, picture it, 300, we're at the well, and there's a Spartan kick involved. Allegedly in Minecraft, I'm not saying that I would mind getting into some leather to do that. Which also gave me a good idea for a dress-up outfit, which I need to stop, seriously. Oh, on a complete tangent, you guys, I got my, congratulations 5,000 unique vintage haul in. I need to do a haul video. Apropos of nothing, I just thought I'd tell you, but this is the comfiest, most cutifullest dress. It is slickery, I'm not gonna lie, it's satin, so I thought I was gonna slide off my chair. But I have managed to beat gravity all day and not slide off my chair. There's my review. I'm sure Unique Vintage is gonna want to do a sponsorship now.
Mr. Wood, can you hear me okay?
Sometimes I can hear you, but at the very beginning, you go real low and then you get higher.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Let me ask you this. Has Hunter ever talked to you about someone or something stealing his thoughts?
Still in his thoughts?
Yeah. Being able to read his mind?
No, he's never done that to me.
Are you aware of him ever talking to you about aluminum foil preventing that?
He's said some stuff off the wall stuff, I will say that.
So that wouldn't surprise you?
It probably wouldn't surprise me, no.
Okay.
We are going straight to hell.
Sir, I've handed you a photograph. Did you identify that photograph?
That is my son standing in front of the Hunter T's Chicken Shack.
You say your son, Hunter
Preston Hunter Wood.
Preston Hunter.
Yes.
Judge, we would offer that as the next exhibit, and I don't think it will fit on the projector to publish to the jury. I'll just ask that it, okay, we'll give it a try.
Sorry.
Who the heck is their Kinko's person?
Jillian Kitchen.
No, there's no.
Full exhibit 96.
Seems like a cute
And
kid.
that's the picture we're showing the jury. That's what you just identified, sir.
Yes.
Okay, just one moment, Judge.
Yeah,
Judge, I
he
mean,
was
just-
right at the age where it manifests for young males. Tragedy. And I do find it rich, and I know that the defense is going to focus a lot on Megan's mental health, but to denigrate and to kind of, pretend that, Hunter was faking to, kind of insinuate malingering is really, really gross, especially when I know they are going to try to use Megan's mental health as a defense. It is gross and disgusting, in my opinion.
Sir, answer this only if you're aware. Are you aware of anything in his medical history about his thoughts about people or things stealing his thoughts?
I'm not aware of that.
Okay, so you're not aware of it, sir.
No.
That's all the questions I have. Mr. Wood, thank you for being here.
No. Maybe Steve.
Yes.
Mr. Wood, thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.
We're released from subpoena, sir.
Okay, thank you.
And we are to Ethan Perry. This is going to be juicy. Get your snacks, get your popcorn. This is the man that Megan Boswell basically put on the birth certificate, accused of stealing Evelyn. And then basically he found out when this child was found that he wasn't the father through a DNA test. Just absolutely tragic. Again, Hurricane Megan has many, many victims. And these people who live with this entitlement and this, me complex. I hesitate to call it narcissism because I'm not a doctorologist. But this me-centric, thought is just... They leave just a wake of victims behind, and it is beyond ridiculous that one person can cause so much tragedy.
Raise your hand, sir. State your name.
Ethan Perry.
Absolutely. Let me change the
Yes, sir.
banner. And we are going to try to push through this. I will be candid that Hagatha the Leg is, hoping that this is a quick testimony, but I am here for the tea. So let's hope we can get through all of this before Hagatha the Leg, just gets all the, ugh. She is such a pill and a half. Hagatha the Leg is just a butthole. Also, sweeties, everyone, there are big giant snowstorms that are coming through. That, just be safe. There's ice. There's all sorts of craziness coming all through, America. Check in with Ryan Hall, make sure you're safe. Have some extra stuff. Make sure you stay warm. And if you can stay inside and be an inside cat while all this yuckiness is going on, I encourage you to stay with me on the Petty Express or, with your other favorite creators, to stay inside. Oh, I do have to capitalize her names. Oh, Hogus. He is enjoying his retirement. He's got a beard and long hair. Mr. Mo still has a beard. Well, because he's a weatherologist, and I'm just a weirdo who plays dress up and pretends to be a lawyer on the interwebs. Like, I don't know what to do in a snow-nado, so that's why you go to Ryan Hall. I'm just here to look cute and say quirky things.
Good afternoon, Mr. Perry.
Good afternoon.
If you would scoot up close to that mic there so we can hear you good.
Better?
That's great. That's great. You are Ethan Perry, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Perry, how old are you?
I'm 25.
And where do you live?
Kingsport.
All right. Do you know the defendant, Megan Boswell?
I do.
And how do you know Miss Boswell?
We dated in high school.
All right. Do you see Miss Boswell seated in the courtroom here today?
I do.
If you would point her out and describe what she's wearing.
A white top and glasses,
All right.
black hair.
All right. Judge, let the record reflect he's identified the defendant.
Record certified.
You know, I would have gone full bender and said, my Hodar detects that bitch right there. We're near enough to 3 hours, and I don't, put ads on the live stream, so we're good. Look, it's after darkish. The gloves come off. Although I would have paid him $5 to call her a swamp donkey over there, but he might have gone to jail, so probably not worth it for the $5. But it would have been epic.
All right, so you indicated you all dated while you were in high school, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And when would that be?
I was about 15, she was about 13, so I'd say about 2014, 2015.
And where were you all in high school?
Sullivan Central High School.
That here in Bluntville?
Yes, sir.
How long did you all have a dating relationship?
I'd say at least until I got out of high school, whenever I joined the Army.
Okay. Now, when you were in high school, where did you live?
In Blountville,
Okay, and who did you live with?
with my grandfather and my step-grandmother,
And who were they?
Carl and Sherry Perry.
Did you also, as you were growing up, for a period of time, live with Paul Miller?
Yes, sir.
And who was Mr. Miller to you?
He is my step-grandfather.
And when did you live with him?
Since birth until about 2010.
Okay. And how old were you at that time?
Oh, about 10 or 11.
Okay. All right. So at that point in time, did you go to live with Carl and Cherry?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you mentioned you had a dating relationship with Miss Boswell until you graduated from high school. When was it that you graduated?
2017.
And would that have been, what month did you graduate?
May, and I believe it was May 21st.
Okay. So end of May?
Yeah.
All right. What did you do after you graduated from high school?
Joined the Army.
And how soon after you graduated from high school did you join the Army?
10 days on May 31st.
Did you go straight into basic training at that time, or?
Not straight in. There were some hiccups along the way. I had some medical issues, but it was relatively quick. Yes.
All right.
Oh my God, I didn't even catch it. You're right. KLF, is he even from Tennessee? Now we need a locality test, because I don't think he's from Tennessee. He knows the date. This is not real. He's punking me. Ashton Kutcher's gonna jump up and say, punked. I know, now I want chocolate covered strawberries. Y'all are killing me.
Where were you stationed?
I went to basic at Fort Benning, Georgia, and then I was sent to my unit in Fort Polk, Louisiana.
Okay. Did you continue to keep in contact with Megan Boswell while you were at basic training?
Yes.
Okay. Did you say you were still in a dating relationship at that time?
I'd say so, yeah.
How were you keeping in contact with her?
In basic training, mostly through letters. But by the time it was over, text.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't have a phone while you were.
It was like once a month we got our phone, but it was only for like 30 minutes. I can't really remember any conversations that we had specifically.
But you were still continuing to communicate with her the old-fashioned way by writing letters. Is that
Correct.
Okay. So as your time in the Army continued, did you continue to have a relationship with Miss Boswell?
Yes.
Okay.
Did she
And
know
at
you
some
were
point in
in a
time, did you come
relationship?
back home to Tennessee?
Yes.
And when was that?
Probably the first time would have been in probably the winter of 2017.
Okay.
For Christmas.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
All right. So you had leave, you came home at Christmas time, is that right?
Correct.
All right. Where did you stay when you came back?
With Carl and Sherry Perry.
All right. Did you have contact with Miss Boswell while you were here?
Can't remember for sure, but I'm sure, yeah.
Okay. Y'all were still in a relationship? Is that
Eh,
fair statement?
Sure.
Okay. Well, if it's not, tell me.
I mean, I wouldn't call it a healthy relationship, but a relationship, yeah.
All right. You saw her while you were here in Tennessee?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, Bish is crazy. Look, she was a train wreck when I met her. I was just trying to leave. I even went into the Army to leave her, okay? I just love that okay, sweetheart, it was about as ham-fisted as ham salad. But, next time it's try subtle. Subtle. Or you could just call her the town bicycle, which again, if I don't want to shame people, because Lord, I don't care. But, if you want to be the town bicycle, then sweetheart, that is fine. But don't tell me that men don't respect you, okay? You can't have both, all right? It's either the town bicycle or, you're a little discerning. I don't know what to tell you.
Now, at some time in 2018, did you learn that she was pregnant?
Yes.
And when was that?
I would probably around March or April.
Okay. Did the two of you have any discussion about who the father of the child was?
Yes.
Okay. And what was that discussion?
Well, it was more of whenever she announced that she was pregnant, it seemed pretty delayed. You know, it seemed like she would have known sooner. Well, you know, the time that I was in, but yeah.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this way: was there discussion made about the fact that you were the father of the child?
There was, yeah.
Okay. And did you assume that you were the father of the child?
Initially, yeah, I just rolled with it, but yeah, the blinders were taken off pretty quickly after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You had some doubts.
Yes.
Okay. Now, in November 2018, she had her child, Evelyn, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Where were you stationed at the time that Evelyn was born?
Fort Polk, Louisiana.
Okay. Were you still in contact with Megan during this whole time?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, at some point in time, did you leave your assignment there at Fort Polk?
When? What year? What time?
After, this would have been November 2018.
Not in November, no.
Okay. Sometime later on?
For Christmas in like December, yes.
Okay. Where were you assigned at that point?
Fort Polk still.
Okay. So you came back home?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see Megan and Evelyn at that time, or?
I did not.
Okay. Was there a reason why you didn't see her then?
Mostly just over the legitimacy and, you know, still trying to figure that out. You know, it's really embarrassing, I guess, to
All right.
argue over it.
Not having a good relationship at that time?
That too, yeah.
Okay. So you leave after Christmas, you go back to the Army?
Correct.
Okay. Still in Louisiana?
Yes.
Okay. At some point in time during 2019, were you reassigned, or was your unit sent somewhere else?
We were sent to El Paso, Texas to assist Border Patrol doing surveillance on the border.
Okay.
We would work from El Paso to the Santa Monica station in New Mexico.
All right. Do you remember when in 2019 that would have been?
I guess March through September.
Okay.
That's my guess.
All right. Now, at some time later on in 2019, did Miss Boswell show up to visit you while you were stationed in El Paso, Texas?
She did.
Okay. Was this a planned visit? Did you know she was?
What in the stage 4 tentacle clinger? Like, she already has a kid. You're pretty much pulling away because you don't believe the baby is yours. And then she stage 5, like, tentacle clingers onto him. Like, I'm going to see you at your duty station. Like, ish, we haven't even talked, and I don't even know if that baby is mine. We have serious issues, and you just come on, you know, over here full Amber Heard wanting to lay a turd on my bed. What is going on? You know, he knows dates. I want to root for him. Bless his heart. Sorta.
Coming?
No, it was hasty. It's a hasty visit.
Okay. Well, if you would kind of tell us how that happened, or how it was that she ended up showing up down there.
Well, the conversation started with her wanting me to take leave to go up to come back up here to Bluntville. And I told her, no, you know, we have a mission here in El Paso. I can't just get up and leave, you know. And so she decided to, on her own, to drive from here all the way to El Paso. And it took her I'd say about 2 days to get there. And all of a sudden, one morning while because we were staying in hotels, we weren't on a base or anything, I just get a picture from her. She was parked outside of the hotel and just took a picture of the hotel. So, yeah.
You knew at that point she was in Texas?
Yeah, it was pretty obvious at that point.
Okay.
Okay, that is sexy when Cyndi Lauper talks about it, and Celine Dion, though I do like the Cyndi Lauper version better, although I know it was not their original song. But I drove all night to get to you, woke you from your sleep to make love to you. No, now it's, again, I say it's situational. So yeah, Cyndi Lauper, yes. Celine Dion, yes. Crazy ass Megan Boswell, no. No, that is why you have bear mace, allegedly, in Minecraft. I mean, good, yeah, he was like, you know, his fellow soldiers were like, the F? And he's over here like, oh my God, we're seriously, that is not romantic. That is not healthy. That is not good. If you are considering an impromptu stage 4 clinger tentacle, incursion to someone who doesn't want you, stop. Stop.
What did you do?
Well, I mean,
Ran.
part of me just wanted to turn him away, but the other half was like, well, came all the way out here.
He's like, holy hell, I need to hide. But he's like, I have to be polite, damn it.
May as well just stay. So I advised them to stay on the eastern end of El Paso because the western end is a little dangerous. And so, and then from there, we spent about 3 or 4 days together.
Okay. So did you take some time off of your work assignment there and go spend time with Megan and Evelyn?
Not officially, but yeah.
Okay. What did you all do?
I think the first day we just hanged out in the hotel room, just meeting Evelyn, playing patty cake, stuff like that, watching her walk around. And it was mostly that. We went to the El Paso Zoo. That was I think the second to last day. And then on the last day, we mostly just hanged out in the hotel. The last thing we did was we went to an IHOP.
The word you're searching for is hung. I know I'm not a grammar Nazi, but I am a vocabulary Nazi, which I know I'm not supposed to say those 2 words, damn it. Crapola. Any hoozle, well, it's been lovely having a channel.
All right. And that was the last time I physically saw Evelyn.
Okay. And this is the first time that you've met Evelyn,
Yes,
is that correct?
that's correct, yeah.
Okay. She's not quite a year old at this point in time?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Was she walking or toddling or anything?
She was, toddling, just, stumbling over herself. And,
Okay. All right. So at the end of the 3 days, you go back to doing your Army thing, is that right? Okay. Where did Megan go?
Well, she came back here to Blumble.
All right. Did you, after she left, did you
Yes,
continue
but
to
it's the
communicate with her?
past tense of hung.
Yeah.
All right. How were you all communicating during this time?
Primarily
Thank-
through Facebook Messenger.
All right. What sorts of things were you all talking about, or would you talk about?
Mostly just arguing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Would she tell you things about Evelyn?
Yeah.
Did she ever ask you for money or assistance to help out in taking care of Evelyn?
She did on at least one occasion.
Okay. Did you ever send any money or assistance or anything?
I sent a little bit. It wasn't much. I would say no more than $100.
Okay. Now, at this point in time, you're still assuming that you're the father of Evelyn Boswell, is that correct?
At this point, I mean, I'm still just rolling with it. No, at that point, no, I didn't assume.
Okay.
I had my doubts, definitely at that point.
All right. But you're still, I guess, interested or invested in what's going on with Evelyn?
Yes,
Is that
yeah.
your statement? Okay. Now, at some point in time at the end of 2019, did you come back to Tennessee?
Yes,
And when was that?
for Christmas.
Okay. Do you remember what date specifically you might have come back?
Usually leave was about 2 weeks, and I think I was here until about New Year's or on New Year's. So I'd say, I don't know, 15th to the 30th.
Okay. And where did you stay when you came back to Tennessee?
At Carl and Sherry Perry's.
All right. Did you see Evelyn while you were here?
No.
Did you ask to see Evelyn while you were here?
Yes.
And what were you told?
I was told that she had the flu because we were planning to go over to Paul Miller's for Christmas. And it made sense because that's whenever COVID started making its rounds around the country. And so it seemed like a good excuse, made sense.
Okay. And did you, in fact, go over to Paul Miller's?
Yes.
And did you go by yourself, or did you go with Megan, or how did that happen?
I went with Megan. We met up at the Northeast State Community College parking lot.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Mr. Perry, I'm going to show you 2 documents, ask you if you can if you recognize those.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what are they?
You want me to read it?
No. I just want you to tell me what they are. just generally.
It was trying to coordinate to get to Paul's.
Okay. Are those the text messages that you had with Ms. Boswell on December the 23rd, 2019?
Yeah.
Okay. And is that a true and accurate representation of the conversations you had with her?
Yes.
All right. Judge, I'd move to make that exhibit 97.
Objection. No objection. Equal exhibit 97.
asked to publish those to the jury. All right, Mr. Perry, so you are having a conversation with Ms. Boswell. You say your phone's messed up, I'm at Verizon. You tell her, yes, I'm still going to pause. What's her response to
Holy baby face. He looks like 12 and a half here. You know, sir, cut the hair just a little bit, get styled, get, just take a little bit of, pride in yourself. You would be a cutie patootie. You're a cutie patootie now, but you'd be a bigger cutie patootie.
that?
Evelyn is sick, so I'm not bringing her around everyone. If you want to see her tomorrow, just you can. But she has the flu, and I don't
I'd
think
never date again,
like
y'all.
being around a
Never.
ton of people is such a good
There
idea.
are battery-operated things that don't get me entangled in felonies.
I took her to the doctor. They gave her some medicine.
And then you say, okay, sounds good, my grandpa, and would like to see her soon though. Sherry's about to go into hospice soon. She stopped taking her chemo just whenever Evelyn feels better. You ask, is she okay? What's her response?
Okay. Yeah, she's
Oh, the F, she didn't. There is a woman, so Sherry was getting ready to go into hospice, and Megan is just dangling Evelyn over this woman, this dying woman's head, like, sure, I'll bring her over, sure, I'll bring her over. All the while knowing she's passed away. The level of evil this chick is displaying is just grotesque. I mean, ew.
fine.
All right, and you say everyone has the damn flu around here. And then,
She's just sick, and I don't want her around everyone. You want to meet me, and we can ride together?
and did you all in fact meet up and go over
True
to Paul
that.
Miller's?
Yes.
All right. And did Megan have Evelyn with her?
No.
Did you all talk about, while you were at Paul Miller's, Evelyn at all?
About Evelyn?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Did you, and what did you all do while you were at Paul Miller's?
Just mostly just sat around. I believe we ate dinner, opened some presents, and it was relatively quick. I'd say we were there for no longer than 2 or 3 hours.
Okay. All right. After you
Ooh,
left the
he even
Millers, where'd
has
you go?
estimated times.
I went to take
He's a
Megan back to her
catch
car
ladies.
at the Northeast State Community College parking lot.
Okay. Did you all have further conversations while you were here on leave?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. And again, were you trying to see Evelyn while you were here?
Yes.
Okay. Were you in fact ever to see Evelyn? Able to see Evelyn?
No.
Okay. Did you see Megan again while you were home?
Yes.
Okay. And when was that?
Can't remember the exact date, but it was after Paul Miller's. Sherry and my grandfather Carl bought her some gifts, Evelyn some gifts, some baby food, and little stuff like that. So I asked Megan to come over to my place and just pick them up.
Okay. And you indicated you were staying there with Carl and Sherry Perry. Is that correct?
Correct.
And did Megan come to their house?
She did.
All right. And did you talk to her?
Just to
Did you give her
get
those
stuff
items you
from
just
the
described, or-
dying
Yeah.
woman.
The conversation was relatively short. I just gave her the gifts, and she told me that she was going to go to, I believe it was Pigeon Forge with Hunter Wood.
Okay. Was Evelyn with her when she came to pick up those items?
No.
Okay. Did she say where Evelyn was?
Chances are she said, I don't know for sure.
Well, if you don't know or remember, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. How long was she there picking up those items?
Like 10 minutes.
All right. So, did you have further communication or conversation with Megan Boswell while you were home?
After that, it seemed like the conversation pretty much ended altogether.
Okay. Were you all still communicating by text and Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Perry, I'm going to hand you another document, ask you if you recognize that.
I'm just waiting for you are not the father.
I recognize it, yeah.
And what is it?
It's Megan stating to me that her father just kicked her out of the house again, and that she won't have Evelyn back until she gets a place to stay.
Okay.
And then she said, never mind, I'm sorry,
All right.
the next day.
those text messages you received from her?
Yes,
All right. And is that a true and accurate copy of text messages that you received from her on December 26th and 27th?
yes,
All right. Judge, I move to make that Exhibit 98.
12/26.
I'm sorry, 2019.
No objection. Before exhibit 98.
And move to publish that. Okay. Mr. Perry, she sent those messages to you. You did not respond to them. That'd be correct?
correct.
Okay. Is that
You do not
Is that
respond to
somewhat normal
Quincy,
for you
you do not
sometimes?
respond
Yeah.
Okay.
to a level 27 cleaner.
Now, you said you were on leave from the Army over Christmas.
She got kicked out like Sarah Boone was an ultimate victim. I'm guessing none of these things happened except for in her head canon to make herself a victim. She and Sarah Boone are very much alike.
There in 2019. First part of January, you returned to your duties with the U.S. Army.
Correct.
And where were you all stationed at that time?
Fort Polk, Louisiana.
All right. Did you continue to communicate and receive communications from Ms. Boswell after you returned to Fort Polk?
It was pretty rare, but yes.
And specifically, do you remember getting a message from Miss Rachel Owens?
Yes.
And without telling us what she said, did you, as a result of what you were told, communicate with Miss Boswell?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Dad was probably
And
demanding to see
Again,
the
we're not
baby. Wouldn't
get
let
into the
her see
exact
them.
conversation, but the nature of what Miss Owens had asked you was the fact that there were concerns about Evelyn. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so then would it be fair to say you asked Miss Boswell what was going on with Evelyn?
Correct.
Did you have communications with her about that?
Correct.
All right. I'm going to hand you a document and ask you if you can identify that.
Yeah, I recognize it.
What is it, sir?
That's her stating that just to
Well,
ignore.
hold on. Don't read it
sorry,
yet. No,
sorry.
you're fine. Is that, and I'll lead you a little bit, is that
He
the
is such
text
a
conversation
cutie.
that you sent to Miss
Aw.
Boswell after you had communications with Miss Owens?
Yes, this is her response.
Okay.
Yes.
And is that a true and accurate depiction of the messages that you sent her?
Correct.
All right. Judge, I move to make that exhibit 99.
Go. Full exhibit 99.
And I believe the date on that's January 19th, 2020. I move to publish that at this time, Judge. Okay. So you've messaged Ms. Boswell about the fact that you have concerns, Ms. Owens has expressed concerns about Evelyn, and her response is, just ignore her. I've not talked to anyone in my family in weeks. Literally, I've cut all ties with them. That's why she's not seen her. She and Dad cussed me out. Dad took me car from me in the middle of work, left me in a bind and shit. Fuck them. They aren't my fucking family. They never were to begin with.
That's what she said.
Okay. All right. Did she ever tell
Well,
you anything else
innocent
about
age.
Evelyn or where Evelyn was?
I can't remember.
Okay. All right, so that was January 19th of 2020. In February of 2020, did you receive some phone calls? Well, let me ask you this. Were you still in the Army, still at Fort Polk at that time?
Correct.
Okay. Did you receive some phone calls from family members?
I can't remember.
Okay. Did you receive some phone calls by the Department of Children's Services here in Tennessee?
Yes.
That surprised you?
Yes.
Okay.
I did.
All right. And without saying what they said, why were they contacting you?
For the whereabouts of Evelyn.
All right. Did that surprise you?
Yes.
And why was that?
Because, well, I didn't have Evelyn, and that's what they were asking. If I had her, or if I seen her, or the last place that, where do I think where she would be, stuff like that.
All right. Were you then contacted by investigators with the U.S. Army?
Yes, I was contacted by the Central Investigation Division,
Okay.
CID.
And kind of tell us what happened with all that.
Well, initially, I got a my officer of my.
He is so ticked to have to be here, and I can't blame him. This is such a suck thing to have to do just because your ex-girlfriend is a flippin' crazy Muppet with crazy Muppet hair.
All right, Mr. Perry, Mr. Perry, if you would go ahead, you in the middle, telling us what happened as far as your investigation there by the Army.
So initially, I got contacted by my NCO in my company, and he told me that.
Well, don't tell him what
What
he
he-
said.
okay.
Just tell us what happened to you as a result of.
Okay. I was contacted by CID. They wanted to set an appointment for after lunch, and so I went back to my barracks room, to get ready. I still had no clue what was going on until I got the call by DCS, and which they were asking about the whereabouts of Evelyn, and so. Which I gave the response. I don't know, all that.
Were you interviewed by interrogators there?
Yes.
For hours?
Yes.
Okay. Did you cooperate with them fully?
Yes.
Did you allow them to search your cell phone?
Yeah, search my cell phone, take DNA, search my barracks, and search my car.
Okay. So investigators searched the barracks looking for Evelyn
Correct.
in Fort Polk, Louisiana.
Correct.
Okay. Was Evelyn there with you at your Army base there in Louisiana?
No.
Has she ever been there?
No.
With you?
No.
Okay. Did you cooperate fully with law enforcement in providing consent to search, provide DNA, anything else that was needed?
Absolutely. Everything that I could.
Okay. The only time you ever saw, well, when was the only time you ever saw Evelyn?
Was in El Paso.
Okay. That one time when Megan showed up?
Yeah, just out of the blue.
All right. Did you cooperate with law enforcement in determining the paternity of Evelyn Boswell?
Yes.
All right. Were you the biological father?
No.
Okay. All right. So the one and only time you see Evelyn is in 2019 before you came home for Christmas. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Perry. If you would answer any questions, Mr. Scott has for you.
This absolute dumpster fire human being. The level of the bullshit storm this man had to deal with because of this woman's choices. I mean, not only did he have to talk to his, chain of command, he probably had his NCO come out. He probably had the entirety of, the MPs come out too. I mean, they don't play in the military. This is not, some he, like I can accuse you of something and then pretend it never happened. This is absolutely bonkers what she did to this man. And then he's not even the father. I mean, his family had invested. That poor woman was on hospice. The level of dumpster humanity, swamp donkey behavior is just off the charts. I mean, Amber Heard is here and Megan Boswell is up here. And dear Lord, I didn't think that was possible. But the malignant entitlement and disregard for other people is bonkers. Defense, I swear to goodness, if you hurt this, look, I think I just see him as that cute little baby face boy who was probably scared to death as the MPs came for him. If you are mean and snarky to this cute little cutie patootie, I will rip you up one side and the other linguistically and figuratively with snark and a tapestry of curse words. If you feel inclined to donate to the curse jar, please do. But if you are unable, do not feel shame because there is the like button and the subscribe button, and they are just as important. Please do all the YouTube-y things so I don't have to grift because I suck out loud at it.
Mr. Perry, my name is Gene Scott. How are you today?
Doing good. How you doing?
Good, thank you. I have just a few questions for you. How many times did you actually see Evelyn?
Well, I saw her in El Paso through a span of 3 or 4 days.
Okay, was that it?
Yes.
Okay. And you said Megan just showed up at your hotel while you were staying there with the Army?
Correct.
Sent you a picture?
Yes.
You told her where you were staying?
Correct.
Okay, so that's how she would know to find you there.
Right.
She was 2 mother effing days away. The defense is like, but you told her your address. Yeah, because he didn't expect her to be super duper crazy, like level 74 with tentacles and super glue clingy. So, no, he probably didn't assume that when he gave her his address, she was gonna, pack the baby up and do a 2 day, just random travel for the love of all that is unholy.
And what did you all do over those 3 days you spent there?
Majority of the time was spent in the motel or hotel, whichever it was. And then we went out to eat. I think we just went out to pick up food. We went to the zoo and we went to IHOP.
Did Evelyn appear healthy to you?
Yeah.
No signs of abuse or neglect?
I wouldn't say abuse. I mean, I saw like a small bruise on her arm or her leg, but she was starting to learning to walk, so I just assumed that's what that was.
Likely a child would fall down before you walk.
Right, right.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Megan engaged with her? I mean, did she talk to her, appear to love her to you?
Repeat that.
Did she appear to love the child, Evelyn? If you know.
I can't.
Do not dip your wick in crazy, men. This is the only thing I can say. Look, if she is crazy, no. Temptation, just say no. No, if she is cray-cray, you cannot fix that. You cannot love that out of her. No, you run. You run fast, you run far, and you move to Guam. Otherwise, you end up with a Sarah Boone.
I don't know.
Okay. Was she normal? She clean when she brought her there?
Yes. Yeah.
No issues with that?
No. No.
No
Touche.
neglect issues that you saw?
Touche.
No.
Okay. That's all the questions I have for you. Thank you.
Regret?
No, Your Honor.
Is he free to go?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Terry, thank you for your.
All right, guys, we are going to finish up here for tonight just because Hagatha the leg, and I want to spend some time with my family and make sure that the little children have actually done their homework since, Mr. Mo has been so helpful in letting me do basically all streaming all day. Need to make sure that Dad, also gave them the, do the homework kind of thing. Would you guys rather watch Potentially Criminal or Defense Diaries? Defense Diaries is doing something Songbird on Murder Row, and then Potentially Criminal is doing the ASAP Rocky Felony Assault Trial. So, okie dokie. Well, it looks like Potentially Criminal. He is awesome. I am basically going to get right off of here and attempt to go downstairs. Wish me luck. Gravity and me are not the best friends that we used to be. Well, we were never friends. Actually, we weren't even frenemies. We've just always been enemies. Gravity and me aren't friends. I need to write a song, a ballad. Guys, have a lovely time with Sean. I'm going to go downstairs and hopefully my family didn't eat all the tacos. But if so, I will survive. Peanut butter and jelly exists. I will see you guys tomorrow for Mornings with Mo. And we have Musings with Mo if you are a member. It's about a 10 to 15 minute video. You just get random tangents. It's nothing fancy yet, but it is growing. And like everything, practice makes progress, and I'm miles from where I started. So if you ever get discouraged, just remember you are miles and miles away from where you started. And every step is progress, even if you still suck out loud. You don't suck out loud as much as you did yesterday. Bye, you guys. And welcome, Wilburn's Raiders. Sorry to be sending you directly to Sean. Just to let you know, I will be doing Mornings with Mo, a new newscast for about an hour at 8 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. All the headlines, true crimes, and shenanigans that 2025 can offer. And then we will come back to the Petty Express to continue the Evelyn Boswell trial. We are running on our own timeline. We are on day 3. We will finish up day 3 and go into day 4. I have been told that day 4 does have the medical examiner in it. So I completely understand if you guys need to do replay crew or, just can't watch that stuff. I will try to have a warning there. But you know, just to remind you, tomorrow is probably going to be ME Day for us. So, you know, have your Kleenex, have your tissues, and your emotional support floofs. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, you guys. Thank you for joining, and thank you, Raiders. Sorry to just send you right on off.